Let me get the tab open. Welcome in, everyone. Let me see if I can get a giveaway running. Are you Leslie? Where you at? Sticker. There you go. Damn, I'm getting whiplash this morning. I suddenly just got an itchy shoulder blade that I need to itch. Leslie's going to be in here in a moment, I think, unless she just steals the show today. But yo, comedian, how's it going? Kirsty Vent, welcome in. Hopefully today, let's set some ground rules for stuff to talk about. Allow to moderate. There we go. Oh, allow to moderate has a different icon just there. So welcome and getting the giveaway, everyone. It's for a Yo Leslie, where you at sticker. And we're gonna have a magnet. I think I've still got magnets in there. Magnet. Yeah, I'm gonna pin that on the screen as well. Yo Leslie, where you at magnet. And we've got a keep going trading card that you can I don't know, maybe put a pre-bid on it or something. Keep going, don't stop now. Have you ever heard Leslie's theme song? Hectic Eclectic, welcome in. Right, let me get this loaded up on my computer and we should be good to go. Okay. I forgot where I was. I was in the middle of a thought before I raided into Leslie, and it was something quite profound. I can't remember what it was now. So we'll figure it out. Look, I'm an old man, folks. Look at this. Look at this hair. It's the only hair I've got in my head. Am I on YouTube? I should be on YouTube today as well. I wanted to try and get these shows recorded because they're a lot of fun. So let's see if I'm live. Does it say I'm live? Am I live? No. Keep going with Leslie. 2 minutes ago? Yep. I'm live. We're live on YouTube. Keep going. Live chat. Yay. Okay. So you can get in the giveaway. Yo, Leslie, where you at? Magnet. That's all good to go. What's this? Michelle's deals here. Well, welcome in, Michelle. How are you doing? There's a new icon that comes up on the screen for allow to moderate. The little joypad icon that used to be there. Chef Koopa, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. I appreciate you being here. Get in the giveaway. It's for a sticker that says, Yo, Leslie, where you at? And that's because when Leslie comes in my shows, I have a Leslie button, and this is, Yo, Leslie, where you at? I need a water ice. I'm in bed. Where you at, Leslie? Are you in bed? I need a water ice. Hey, Leslie, where you at? You know there's butterflies in the walls? Yes, look. Look at these. Those are amazing, these ones. Look at the size of that one. It's the size of my hand. It's huge. And I've got some there. Yo, Leslie, where you at? Where you at, Leslie? Get that soaping emoji. Get that dirty soapies. Dirty soapies everywhere. Yo, Leslie, where you at? I need a water ice. Say something in the chat, Leslie. Where you at, Leslie? Are you in bed? I need a water ice. Hey, Leslie, where you at? Say something in the chat. There she is. All right, get her in here. Invite to co-host. Confirm. There we go. Oh,
Hey, hello
yo,
there.
how you doing? Oh, is she still there? Is she gone? Invite to co-host. I'll try again. My next.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So what happened? It came up on my tablet as well. So when I disagreed when I said no on my tablet, it took me out. I was already in. iPhone.
User error.
iPhone.
It was user error, everyone.
It's the iPhone. Yeah. See.
Yes,
Hello,
the
Michelle.
iPhone.
Michelle, we got to talk. What's going on? What we doing? What we
We
doing,
need to talk,
Michelle?
Michelle.
It's
What's going on?
close. Group chat, FaceTime. Let's go. We gotta make
Listen,
it.
Yo,
I'm,
Darren,
I'm me-
are you in the garage? Are you cheating on Arby's with Whataburger? Or are you walking around eating a banana in your tidy whities?
that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that right now. I'm in my tighty whities. I've had my banana though. I've had my banana. Congratulations to the power of
I had a
four.
banana. I just
Congratulations,
ate
you
a
get that
banana.
giveaway.
I just ate a banana with yogurt and granola. So I chopped mine banana up. So be careful. I chop bananas, y'all. So be careful.
Nice, nice. She's a banana chopper. Right,
Ah.
how's everyone doing? Is everyone doing okay? Put one in the chat if you're feeling energized for the week.
Oh, Sarah, I know that's not scary. You make crocheted Richards. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Oh
Only
man.
one person feeling energized for the week. How can we change that for you? That is my question today. How can I change you not being energized for this week? Eh?
Mm.
Nobody cares. What are you up to, Leslie?
Um, well, I literally just got out of bed too long ago because I woke up. Right? Well, the reason being is I woke up, you saw me in Dee's chat. I woke up and then you know what I may not have a addiction financially with whatnot, but as a lot of people do, you have addiction and the first thing you do is grab for whatnot. So, get up, use the bathroom, lay back down. Let's see what's on whatnot. I'm like, oh, D is still on. Because
Yeah,
normally like 2 o'clock in the morning is not too iffy for me, right? We're up sometimes, 2, 3 o'clock, but it was five something. And I was like, oh, so my curiosity got the best of me. Let's go in there and see what Dee's doing. And then
she was
she
up
thought
late.
she just right. And she just
Yeah,
happened to have her Thrift Works card. And she was talking about that, her original one with the half pink hair, and you were in there. And so then by that activity, my brain was stimulated. I was up. And so finally I was like, I gotta shut D down and go back to sleep. So I woke up again at 9 o'clock after being up. So that's my long story. Love catching. Yeah, D is I like D. D is
that was a great story, Leslie. Thank you so much for sharing that.
my friends. I'm gonna tell you, if you missed the somewhat roast on Friday, there was a current theme going of Leslie loving to talk. And I will say that if you talk to my parents now, who thankfully are both still living, if you talk to my parents now, I was very quiet when I was younger. It was a lot of reasons why, but I was very quiet and took me a long time to come out of my shell. And so the fact that I do talk and I love to be around people is a big deal. So
Yeah,
so take it
I
as you will.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's all in good fun.
Yes. I know how everybody
Right.
feels about me now.
Listen, I said I would never do one of those roasts, but it actually looked quite good fun. So
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe I'll put my hat in the ring for it.
Oh, let's do that.
I I can keep quiet. I'll just leave.
No, those are
Listen, I'm
not the
not taking
rules.
this. Get out. I don't
Those
need
are
to
not
take
the
this
rules.
nonsense.
I know. And
Um,
we're supposed to be quiet. And Julie's like, you're not saying anything. I'm like, I'm supposed to be quiet. Like, she's like, no, you don't have to be quiet in here. A couple times I did interrupt just to kind of say, a message or something. But yeah. JJ
right.
Shepard.
So welcome in, everyone. This is Keep Going. This is me and a reworker's passion, Leslie, wherever she is, if she's up there or down there. And she is one of my good friends that I met last December. It's not even been a year. Well, we've known each other a bit longer, but
Yeah.
we met each other in real life in
Yeah.
December, and that really forged a relationship,
Yeah.
which is a great friendship
Yeah.
between two people who otherwise may never have met each other
Yeah.
before in the world, which would have been a travesty,
I
right?
know. I know.
So by accident, a few months ago, I was live and wanted to test something on my new iPhone, or a secondhand new iPhone that I bought to go and whatnot with. And I co-hosted her in, and we ended up speaking for about 3 hours. So that is the origin story of what Keep Going
Yeah.
is, and we have the same sort of business ethic, the same kind of ethos as to what we enjoy doing and listening to and implementing in our own businesses, and we bounce ideas off each other, which is nice. And we want to invite you into our world for a few hours, and if you want to chat about stuff, have any questions, actually, this is what I really wanted to do. I wanted to open the door to anybody who has questions.
No
um
shipping.
no shipping, or maybe a little bit, but you know, only only the real nitty gritty, not the I don't know what to do with my
Yeah.
sizes and weights. You can figure that out yourselves. But other things about shipping we'll address, but within reason. But yeah, if you have any questions, or if you just want some inspiration, or if you want to like spitball ideas,
Yeah.
this is what this is for.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to start by asking what's going on over here? What are we doing
Well,
here?
I'm leaving for the US next week, so I I usually just get a bit lazy and just let it grow out for a while. Jennifer,
Jennifer
congratulations.
Jenny
So,
Jen. I like it.
but
Okay.
but I'm going for that. What's the guy's name? The George Clooney. I'm going for the George Clooney stubble.
I know,
Michelle likes
Michelle.
it.
It's no flirting allowed today, Michelle. Like
Next Santa card. That's it. I'm getting it. I'm getting in. I'm getting in for the Santa card. That's it. Keep trying. Get out of here, Julie Shopper.
oh my gosh, there's
Welcome in, Ross.
always one. There's always one JJ
There's always
Shopper.
one. She's just jealous that this is bigger than her beard. I've seen
Oh,
it in real
oh
life.
no. I'm not even touching that one. Look at what he
Listen,
did
no
there.
no beard contest with Tony. There is no
Oh,
contest.
yeah,
No
no, they're
contest.
not even close. I don't I think that the bearded thrifter and maybe Jeff collects and Tony, they
Oh,
can kind of
Jeff. Yeah.
go. Yeah, Jeff is sporting the longer beard these days. So, but the bearded thrifter is that, do you know the bearded thrifter, Darren?
Yeah.
He's kind of down there. So Kelly, what's going on? Anybody like my hat though? Look at this hat.
Yes.
Did you Reggie roasted me and she sold these hats. They were all themed. And I said to her, Reggie, after she was done, I said, I just want to say one thing, Reggie, I need that hat. And she was like, done. She sends me a message and she was like, oh, by the way, I already upgraded a package that you had coming. And so this came like the flower, but this right here, this is the important part. This is my logo. So up there, or if you click my account, my profile, Darren created this logo for me. Look how she did it though. Look how cool
That's good. I
that
love it.
is.
Yeah.
So this app it's so amazing. As Darren already told you, he and I are friends, but I've met so many amazing people. Aside from just the relationships, each individual person, well, it's all about how you determine who you are, but the accounts are amazing. Everybody has something to offer.
Yep.
And if you
Really.
think about that and show up in that way, like Lilac Bloom, I've seen her literally, and we say her the last part of her name is Bloom on this app. Because for the most part, Reggie in the beginning, very like quiet and shy, and she's probably like that in person. When she gets around us, she isn't because she knows who we are. But just so sweet. But her talent is amazing. And she is brave every single time she shows up and
Yep.
puts her work out there. She puts herself out there. And I think if someone like that can put themselves out there, who makes their items, who makes them vulnerable, right? And they don't appear seen. Anybody should be able to get on this app with any idea that you have and
Yep.
at least start, right? That's
Yep.
my
I love that.
yeah.
I love the absolute freedom to be creative. Anyone, like you say, anyone can be creative, or anyone can do their own thing on this app. But most people come on here just to sell and go home. But
Yeah.
if you want the opportunity to unleash that little creative side inside you,
Yeah.
the platform's there to do it, and I love it. I mean, I got a hat as well, so I probably won't get mine for a while, but or nothing
Right.
to do with Reggie. It's just because I have to ship from Florida
Hmm.
again. But I'm looking forward to getting that and having it in the background. I've got my little shrine of
Yeah,
things
I
from
love it.
people.
Yeah, once you can get back into the attic in the fall,
I
please
can
don't
draw
go
me
up
a
into the
stick figure. I can draw pretty good stick
listen,
figures.
you can do the stick figure, Michelle, and then add some things behind it, some trees or whatever. You know, people make a lot of money for stick figures, right? Like the things we
That's
used to
true.
do. An adult can put a stick figure on a piece of paper and call it art. And but I think whatever you do is unique. And at least do it. That I think that's really important.
Oh yeah.
I've actually seen a lot of people who are sellers but have some type of handmade that they've been doing on the side or whatever and incorporate it. You've got like it's too many people to name, but like just a couple. Like I just met BE Unbox. Aaron, Brandon is B and Aaron is E. in Michigan, but I came across them, I think, on a CG Ray train, and that's how I got to know who they were. And she does wood items. And when she held it up, they're pallet sellers for the most part. And when she held up her wood, and I was like, wow, it's amazing. And then my good friend, Wild Hope, Becca, she was just selling clothes when she got started. And she said
Yeah.
it was because of me. Like, I didn't know her. I met her the same way I met everybody else, and she is just incredible. She started incorporating her upcycled clothes with her thrifted clothes, because she does thrifted, maybe little bit of boutique. She doesn't buy pallets and things, and start incorporating that. And I just think it's amazing, these handmade sellers who
Yeah.
come in and say, you got TLC Mama Bear, who started off with her husband in his account, and then now started selling snacks, and then her art, she started selling her art. She gave me a shout out yesterday on an art raid train, and just said she remembers back 2 years ago when she didn't even want to, wasn't even sure if she could do
Yeah.
it. And you never know, and it's people are there, it's expanding yourself. I think it's incredible. I really do.
Yeah. And that can be for all aspects of business as well. I mean, if even if you are a Funko Pop seller, go
Yeah,
back to the roots of the
yeah,
app. If you're a Funko Pop seller and you want to start mixing it up with your own art, or
mhm,
if you just want to try something new,
mhm,
like comic books or
uh,
caps or something like that,
yeah,
you can do it. There's complete and absolute freedom of being able to
yeah,
do pretty much anything you want and change it daily
yeah,
is incredible.
yeah,
But yeah, you're right. The level of craftsmanship and artistic um prowess, or whatever you want to say, is rife on this app. You just need to discover it, and that's the I'm hoping that the discoverability of certainly handmade, and I guess we're all handmade
yeah,
category is is important to discover,
yeah, yeah,
because anyone can sell a Funko Pop, but not everyone can
sure,
sell something that
yeah,
they've created themselves. And it's having the confidence to
yeah,
one, do it, and then put it in front of people. That's usually the
yeah,
barrier for people, is to say, "Oh, shit, I don't think that's good enough to show
yeah,
anyone, or I
yeah,
don't think that's good enough to
yeah,
sell." You don't know who's out there looking for stuff
exactly.
to buy, and
Yeah.
that's the beauty of this. And as this app grows, there's going to be tens of millions more people
Oh, sure.
looking for what you've got,
It-
and I think
it's and we've seen the growth of it. We've seen the growth in addition to like the art cards. It is literally your virtual gallery. I've actually talked to people over the years. I have art on my wall of people, and one person, their goal was like, oh, I want to get into, get my work, my art into a gallery before I die. And before we even talked about like really focusing on whatnot, okay, are you simply smart shopping? Are you contacting galleries? Are you putting yourself out there? Don't, wait for it to happen, work for it to happen. And I think that's really important for people to understand. Things People want to see you have initiative as well. And to go back to what Darren was just saying, as artists, we really can be hard on ourselves. And I stopped that a long time ago, over 20 years ago. And if it's a mistake item, people don't know it's a mistake item. You can either say it's a mistake item or not. And if you do say it's a mistake, or, a creative error or whatever, what you can show them is that where it is, and tell the story behind it. That's actually going to sell your product more than you saying, oh, letting it pile up or throw it away or painting over it. Let people know that there is a process, that you put your heart and soul in it. And for me, it's very therapeutic. And so if I mess up, I may be in a state of, you know, craziness at the moment or whatever, but my art reflects that, and I'm going to sell it and tell the story behind it, because it's also going to free somebody else to say, you know what, I can sell my work as well. That I've got 20 canvases over here that I thought were messed up, and I'm going to go for it. So for anyone, whether it be art, whether it be selling in general, just selling. It's too many people out there selling pallets. Look at our friends, The Perfect Price, Sam, Bria, JJ Shopper. Look at all these people. They live in the same state and they're
yeah,
selling. They're friends and they're selling, right?
yeah.
Don't let someone tell you that it's too much of something. It's really your spin on it and how you take care of that. You got The Perfect Price and Sold by Sam in a competition. Who's going to get the 50,000 sellers first? Followers. Is it sales or followers, JJ? But it's just,
Well,
and I said Team Diana all the way. Oh,
Followers, yeah, I thought it was.
followers. Okay, cool. Yeah. Good morning,
Eve,
everyone.
Eve, I got your message. I'll contact you after this show as well.
Eve
So
Jack
welcome
Peace.
in.
Everybody, don't have him calling y'all out in shows. Get your information in.
I'll
Yo.
call you out. I'll call you out. Listen, Eve Jack Peace, you still didn't follow the rules, but I've got enough to work with now, so I'll figure it out
Eve
for you.
Jack
Okay.
Peace, please follow
Let's
the
go.
rules.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I mean, I don't have much more to add to that. Really, it's I always say it, and every time I say it, it I believe it a little bit more. But literally, the only person standing in your way is you.
Yeah.
And if you're saying, like Leslie said, if you're saying, "Oh, there are too many people selling pallets on this app," I'll never be able to do it.
Yeah.
Get over
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, let's get over
Yeah.
yourself. You've
Wow.
got to. You just got to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
Michelle's deals. I don't know if Michelle's still here, but she does amazing estate sales. I mean, she's been doing like an amazing estate at the moment, and she's got
Oh,
all
the
these printer trays and
Barbies. I saw a Barbie clothes. I was like the Barbie clothes it was a whole thing.
she's doing a Barbie one. But just recently, she had this like old printer trays full of the
Oh
little
my
stamps and
gosh.
things like that.
That's
And
it's crazy. I
you
love it.
have to do the work. People are,
Yeah.
Michelle
Yeah.
has a reputation. Well, she has two reputations, but one of her reputations is that people come to her because they know she's the right woman to sell their estates.
Yeah.
So
Where's Michelle at? If you're sitting down, Michelle, you should be on the Meetup Hub app right now, putting your information in.
that's it. No, she'll be gone. She'll be back to her bed. She'll be in the bed. It must be early there, no? Um,
I met Eve Jack Peace at the summit. There
oh
she
really?
is.
Let's go.
Yes.
Listen,
She said she's
Le-
known me for years when I used to do my
Leslie,
YouTube and everything.
is that two black, beautiful, bald women at the
Shit,
same place at the same
let's
time?
go. How often does that happen? How often
I
does
love it.
that
It's
happen?
amazing.
Black is beautiful. What can I say?
uh, I love it. Listen, it's bald is beautiful. That's the takeaway from that.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions? What happens is we get questions kind of at the end.
Yeah,
So if you're thinking about something, this just throw it out there.
yeah.
I'm
Throw it out
listening.
there.
Just throw it out
It's
there.
it, I feel like I see Leslie every weekend now, so I run out of things to say. I just listen. I just
No,
listen to her voice messages. She sent me 26 voice messages
don't,
yesterday,
don't
all
even
5
try
minutes
it.
long.
Don't
5
even
minutes
try it.
long.
Don't, Bonnie, what is going on, Bonnie? Don't
Yo, Bonnie, how's
believe
it going?
him. Darren likes to talk. Who has been in Darren's shows? Like yesterday, I just sit back and I go, here he goes. He's going. He's on a thing, right? And then sometimes me, Zodi, and Julia be in the background, like, look, duh. And I'm here for it though. Hey, I love that you get on the roll, but you get information out there too. Lush Life PDX, let's
Lush
go.
Life, let's go.
Yeah,
You know what?
so Darren can talk as well. Don't
What
believe that
what
he yeah.
what I love about this app is that, like, I'll first and foremost, I come on this app to make money, right? I come on this app to make money, make sales, and build a customer base and a little community around that. But what I love about it is, if you're just not feeling it that day, you can
Mhm.
just start talking. And
Just
if
talk.
people want to listen to you, they
Yeah,
will. If they want to interact with you, they will.
yeah,
Yesterday was one of those days. I
yeah.
got on. I had been in somebody else's show. I was being inspired to talk. I would disagree with the
Mhm.
majority of what I heard, and I was inspired to talk about subjects which I think are incredibly important.
Yeah.
And I think the vibe in the room and or the feedback from the room sort of
It was
agreed with
good.
that. So
It was
that's
good.
that's
No,
that's
it
what it's
was
all
really
about.
good. He started really talking about shipping, but he talked about shipping in a way that it makes sense, right? Like you get started, you weigh your item, you sell it, and you pack it.
That's it. The,
I
the,
mean,
the,
like,
one of the things I can't remember who it was, but I can remember just now that I've said it. But I'm not going to name drop people
right,
for their comments, because every comment matters, right?
right,
But or every view is valid
right.
to an extent. But one thing they said was, come August the 1st, when the shipping rules change, it's going to be a learning curve. And normally, normally I'm instant with a reply to stuff like
Yeah.
that, and I
Yeah.
and I said instantly, there's nothing to learn.
Exactly.
You don't
Exactly.
need to learn anything. You don't
Yeah.
need to be in somebody's show to actually be told how to ship, because the rules are, or not the rules, the flow is simple.
Yeah.
You have your item, you weigh it, you pack it, you ship it. That's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing to learn.
And I did say we weren't going to talk about shipping, but I do agree that it really isn't difficult. I think that people make it difficult. And
Yeah.
and having these shows doesn't help it, right? Having these shows like you're a shipping expert, and there's nothing against anyone doing it. I only do the mandated shipping shows from Whatnot. I
Yeah.
go and do my own stuff. I've been and somebody could say it's easy to say that we've been doing it. Well, we learned it just like everybody else. You got to remember, when I came in 2022, it there wasn't a whole lot of stuff. So
Yep.
actually, everybody here today has it way better than the beginning, than 2019, 2020, 2021. You have it way better because everything is in your face. It's like push
Yep.
the buttons. It's like toddler mode as far as I'm concerned. It
Yep.
is. It's like my granddaughter in 6 months can be able to ship. She'll be a year old. Like, that's how I feel. So when people are like complaining, or people, and again, it's if you've made Whatnot your business, if you're here to sell Whatnot, which I don't think that you should, because Whatnot is ever changing, right? You're investing your time and your money into a product that is already existing. Do not rewrite Whatnot.
If you're
Go
thinking
listen.
about something now, if you're thinking about like introducing a product, like
Right.
devolved around Whatnot, it's already moved on.
It's
They're
it's
they're all
already moved
they're all
on.
they're
Seriously.
already going to release the update
That's
in 2 weeks,
exactly. It's
and
it's going to keep
that's
on
the problem with
going.
this.
And
Yeah,
especially if you are a seasoned seller, you should know that, right?
yeah,
You should know that you're gonna wake up the next morning and go, "Oh my gosh, I did the pamphlet, I did the book or whatever," and they owe us nothing. And that's another thing I want to talk about. It's this um it's this culture of Whatnot owes us something, right?
yeah,
Why didn't Whatnot tell us? Why weren't we aware? At least the community host should know, or they don't owe us anything. It's not our business. It's their business. They're doing what works for their business. And mind you, they're not going to do anything that's going to hurt their money. So they're doing everything that they can, right, to help as many people as they can. But the bottom
yep,
line is they still have to make money. But this culture of they owe us something bothers me more than just about anything up on the app. And they don't, they care, but you have to owe yourself something. You have to work your business, read the information, follow the rules,
yep,
run your shows with integrity. That's what you owe yourself. You don't owe anybody but yourself and Whatnot. So think about your business when you say no returns, or this is what I'm going to do, or this is what I'm going to do. You're talking about your business. They're doing the same thing. It is a social selling or community app, but the community is not, we don't buy into it, right? So
yep.
stop thinking you can't go to eBay and do that. Walk into your boss's office and say, you owe me, you owe me. No one owes you anything. So we got to stop with that. Sam Dahl?
I love discounts. It's not that you are owed, but Whatnot could have utilized the community host to control the narrative
No,
and free account.
I don't.
I I
But
I agree. I agree to an extent, but also Whatnot has to take accountability for their communication as well. So
yeah,
when they leak, not necessarily leak, but I'll say when they release an email and only to say 20% of users, and then that 20%, it only takes one to put it on a Facebook
exactly,
group, and
exactly.
then there's trouble happens because there's 20,000,
Yeah,
30,000 people in those Facebook groups,
yeah,
and then everyone makes
mhm,
up their own narrative, and then that's the issue. I agree with community hosts could then control that narrative, but it's not, with respect, it's not our responsibility. If
yeah,
Whatnot's listening, it's not our responsibility to do that, and then it's also not Whatnot's responsibility to say, listen guys, we fucked up, could you go and fix that for us?
yeah, yeah,
I'm not going to go and do that. pay,
yeah,
pay me 100 grand a year and I might
yeah,
fix something for you, you know what I mean? But I'm not
yeah,
going to do it for
yeah.
nothing.
Because we're not
um
we're not paid, and that's the thing. We're
so
not paid to do what we're doing.
and I don't feel, even when they give me topic to talk on, I don't feel any marriage to that subject whatsoever, because at the end of the day it's voluntary,
Yeah,
and we are responsible for how we spin or
exactly,
portray that message. Okay,
exactly.
so I I do think that they should have. I think that they mess up quite a lot with the way that they conduct their
Mm.
what's the word, um, PR, basically, when they have that messaging about changing things. They do it deliberately to an extent as well. They'll
Yeah,
seed that information, and then they'll see how it goes, and then
yeah.
that allows them to go. People hate it or people love it. How do we
I
change
agree
it?
with
And
that.
yeah,
That's what
so
I agree about, because with the new, they were going to do a show for new products updates, and I think that that's what they were going to touch on. But they wanted some more. They wanted some time, so they rescheduled it. And I do want to speak to the fact, of course, the delivery was like off, but I don't. I myself do not believe that Whatnot owes me anything. That is how I personally feel about it. The challenge with it is, even if they told the community host, there's going to be a small portion of us going live. Only a couple people went live because we all set back the same way. We just did our Zoom chat, and when Kenny was like, "What was released is the information." There are people in
he
here
did.
talking about rates and how the ship and all that. And he's
Kenny
like,
didn't
"What?"
know about
Go
it.
ahead. It. There you go.
Kenny
Uh-huh.
said to us, I mean, Kenny, we don't talk about what happens in the
Yeah.
Fight Club or
Right.
anything, but
He
Kenny,
did the
we said to Kenny, so what's the story? He says, what you know is what I
is
know,
what I
and
know.
and that's it.
Exactly. That's
And
it.
so if the only real people will be the shipping team, and if that information doesn't get disseminated to the rest of the departments, then it's going to be it's a top down it's a top down information line. That's what happens. What are you looking
Bonnie, who
confused?
is the jewelry community host? I think she's vintage all around. I don't think it's just jewelry.
Oh,
So
possibly maybe somebody that's diving into the new category or something.
yeah, I know who she's talking about, but she's
Ah, right, yeah, gotcha.
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. I said
Welcome to
she.
yeah,
But
welcome to
yes.
corporate
Yeah,
America. That
he's new. Yeah, he's new.
yeah,
Yeah, welcome to corporate. Exactly. And that's how I look at it. I look at it from, like, the way I approach it is that it is somebody else's business that I'm selling on. And that's how I look at it. And so
Natural State and I said they should go live and do their own announcements. They do that, but they don't do it
yeah,
frequently enough.
yeah.
I I appreciate the Whatnot Sellers account a lot for
Mhm.
doing those product announcements or new product talks, especially when you get to speak to people
Yeah,
like Tom or any other
yeah,
product people.
yeah,
I think they're a great way to find out what's happening.
yeah,
But remember that those are incredibly corporately
yeah,
communicated events.
yeah,
That's not going to be just oh yeah, this is what's happening on Whatnot,
yeah,
you know, willy nilly. They've got a script that they're working
yeah,
to, and it's a that's why when a question is asked and
yeah,
then it's like I'll circle back to the
yeah,
team and I'll figure out, I'll give you a
yeah,
direct answer,
yeah.
because they don't want to, one, make it up, or two, maybe they don't want to say anything publicly
Exactly.
at all. So
Exactly.
that's why the rumor mill, that's why the
Yeah,
self-proclaimed gurus of Whatnot, I don't know, are dangerous messaging channels,
yeah,
because one day is all it takes for something to change after they've said something, and
exactly.
then everything they've said is devalued, but they'll just change their message until
Yeah,
it becomes just a perpetual nonsense machine. And that's really disheartening, because to watch it, I'm not going to come on here and just spew a whole bunch of nonsense that
yeah. I'm not.
I
I know
think might be
nothing.
happening. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
It's
it is, but I also believe that Michelle said they, sent a message to sellers that needed to be notified.
that's true.
And that is true. And so the challenge more than anything is, there are a lot of other
Can you
sellers
break
that
on?
they feel like they should have been a part of that equation, though. They feel that their business is a model for that. And clearly it's not if they weren't notified. The app is so big. And I say this often, that sometimes where we think is in our own area, we only go beyond our space. Imagine this phone just being the space, not realizing that Whatnot is so big. When you go on here, you're only talking to the people that you know. So you're that person. I'm that person. I'm that big person or whatever, forgetting that there are millions of people on Whatnot, and Whatnot sees more people and deal with more people every single day. So like when Whatnot Sellers happens and somebody's being interviewed and everybody's going like, I don't know that person. Of course, you don't know everyone on the app. You're not the biggest dog in town.
No.
So you have to stop coming from that perspective of
Yeah.
they owe me something or I'm doing this. You're really not. In the grand scheme of things, you're not one of the millionaires that Andy talked about
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year. So you
Yeah.
got to keep that in mind. Stop thinking that, especially like the stuff that when people ask questions, right? Oh, they should have this. They should have this. I think they should have this. Do you know they've probably heard every single question or idea that is imaginable? And you're not going to get it because that's not something that's in the works right now, right? They're trying to work
Yeah.
on shipping. They're trying to work on customer service. Do you know how many customer service calls come in, or well, not calls, but
Don't give away the
requests?
secrets, Leslie. Don't give away
I
the
know.
secrets.
I pulled that back. I pulled it because somebody's like, I want the number. There is no number. But so just imagine that. And like just stop thinking about like yourself as an individual seller. You got to think about the whole. And even if you think about the whole, you still have to go beyond that because there's a lot of activity going on that even we aren't aware of, right?
Yeah.
Even we aren't aware of.
We'll never be aware of it.
Yeah.
It's the nature of one, tech companies, but also the nature of big corporates as well. That
Yeah.
that usually the last people to know is everybody apart from that department that's making the change. So
Exactly.
if
Exactly.
it's a customer service change, the last people to know will be everybody else other than customer
Exactly.
service. If it's a
Exactly.
financial change, like a UPS change or this,
Yeah.
it'll be the shipping, and
Right.
that's how it works. It's just like we've been working on this departmentalized over here.
Right.
We're ready to ship it. Let's go. Boom.
Right.
And then everyone's like blindsided by the
Yeah.
info.
Yeah. So I
And they
I
tell no
think
one. There you
go
go.
ahead.
Exactly. Yeah, Bonnie
So
Brickle. I mean, Bonnie Brickle's on the inside, so
yeah.
she's like they tell no one, and it's
Yeah. Yeah.
I can respect that because I've
Yeah.
dealt
I
with companies like that
seriously.
before, you know.
Yeah.
But
I
the
totally
average,
respect it.
I'm going to say the average user, but I mean that sounds belittling to people. But
Yeah.
honestly, the average user who just jumps on the app and expects everything to
Yeah.
be spoon fed to them is like, well, why didn't they do this, or why don't they do that, or
Yeah.
why is it like this?
Yeah.
And you just think yeah, first day on the app, is it?
Yeah.
It's very difficult to re-educate those people. Even in 2026, when we've
Mm.
had digital mobile selling apps like eBay and all these sorts of things, okay, they're not live, instantly changing, boom, boom, boom. But it's the same premise
Yeah.
where, if you want something changed, even on eBay or that, you can't go and talk to eBay about
I
it
know.
because they're not
I
going to
know.
listen to you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They'll have open forums sometimes, or
Yeah.
they'll take questions like they do in the Whatnot Sellers shows. And I believe that they do look through the transcripts, and they maybe take inspiration from ideas and all this. But if you've ever been in one of those Whatnot Seller shows, it's constant a barrage of fix this, fix
Yeah. I
that,
know.
do
It's
this,
yeah.
give
Yeah.
us that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, just let them talk. You know what I mean? Let them talk and we'll figure it out, because nothing's going to get fixed
Nothing's gonna get
today
fixed.
in this
Exactly.
half hour.
It,
you know?
it's that's the thing, right? Exactly. And of course, as like I said, as we read the comments, those are comments that we see all the time. Anyway,
Yeah.
we as community hosts, or take things back. I want to talk about community hosts.
Go
I
for it.
want to talk about community hosts because I hear so many conversations about community hosts and like what is a community host. And so Community Hosts is actually a program thought up by Kenny, who is Silver Drip, right? He's a community on the community team. Right
Community
now
manager.
we knew the front faces are director Kiyomi, Charmed, Casey, what is Casey's name? On here. And then
Casey's Play.
Casey, and then Kenny, who is Silver Drip. And so Kenny, before Casey, I've only known Casey, I know her less than a year, probably about 8 months. But Kenny and Kiyomi came up with this idea. There were so many sellers on here doing community chats, right? Seller support chats. And they wanted a team of people that they knew that would put out reliable information. And that is really what it is. And they would go into different categories of people who were already having shows or who had some type of community show at one point. And they would go in and watch the shows, and they like, you know what? I think this person would be great on the team. So it started off, it's been almost 3 years. And originally, when they started, it was only about 8 of us. I was one of the original people, right? And I was doing the same shows that I do now, my Mindset Monday show, but back then it was Motivational Monday. And they reach out to people and they give you the opportunity. They ask you if you want to be a part of this program. They tell you what it is. It's free. It's a free program. They're not paying us or anything. But what they want are people who are going to tell the truth, who are going to give accurate information, who can come back to the Whatnot team and provide their feedback, and they can work together to figure out some solutions for the community. So it's handpicked. They're picking per category. Now, in the beginning, there wasn't a lot of us. Now there's over 30 people. And they're very selective is in categories. So there are people, how do you get picked? Well, they come to you. They came to me out of the blue. They contacted me. I thought I did something wrong. They were like, they just came in my
We're in
DMs and
trouble.
was like, I did. They came in my DMs and they were like, we would love to get on a chat with you. And I said, fine. And we got on a chat, and then we talked, and then I got on another chat, and they were like, they broke everything down. And it was so small before we had our book group that we would do all of our chats here on Whatnot, and then it started expanding. And
Yeah.
so she's
That's my
like,
mom,
Michelle
everyone.
knows the
That's my
sassy
mom.
princess chick. Hello, Lynn.
Hi,
Um,
mom.
so they, look, so that is how it got started. We do not get paid. Um, I don't feel like it's a job. I actually feel like it's a great opportunity and a privilege to be able to be at the table or on Zoom chats with executives and
Yeah,
getting an inside know, getting a first crack at some of the new products and being in beta. They
for
take our
sure.
information. One thing that you guys don't understand is before you get it, we get it. So we go through all the ups and downs and things like that. But it's such a great program to be a part of. The main takeaway is we don't get paid. This is by choice. Every month, after we get our topic, they give us a topic that we talk about. It's supposed to be in our specific category so that we can pull in and educate the people in our category. It's not supposed to be under community, only the topic of the month. Any other topic can be under the community category. And that is so that we can educate the people in our community so they can get the information that works for them. Right.
Yeah.
And so I just want people to understand that if you haven't been chosen or whatever, it is because Whatnot, one, they only want a specific amount of people, but they're looking for something, right? And if your category is already taken, they're definitely not going to look at you. If you are doing shows that are questionable, they're not going to look at you. They want people who are going to be able to hold an audience. I mean, your children should be able to come in, or whoever. Everyone talks differently in their household,
Yeah.
but just keep in mind that if you didn't speak profanity or do anything weird or anything like that, then that's what they're looking for. So I would say don't chase them, don't send them messages. That's actually going to make them, you're going to look desperate. And so for me, it's
That's
just
what
been a
I did.
privilege. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was one
It's
of the
not what I
reasons I would
did.
say with Darren. He can explain himself, but he was in France. And so they're really localizing to the US right now because each country has their own departments. And
Yeah.
so we're working differently. And so now that he's US based for the most, and he's been in the US, he's been feet on the ground too. And
I've
that
been in the
is
US more this year than I've been in
serious.
France. It's crazy.
That's the key to it. If you want something, don't wait for it, work for it. I mean, Darren's been working like crazy. It looks like funny because I'm his friend, I can see things behind the scenes. It looks like fun and games, but he really is very strategic about
Yeah.
his plan for Whatnot in his business. So, Darren, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, being just to go on the community host thing, being on the team or the community host team is it feels like a privilege. It really
Yeah.
does. It's like
Yeah.
you're invited to be a voice box for Whatnot, but you're also invited to be completely impartial and have your own
Yeah.
opinion at the same
Yeah.
time. But
Yeah.
they don't have you like bound to a word or anything like that. They say, we want you to talk about shipping, we want you to talk about setting up a show, we want to talk about production, all these sorts of things, and also have your take on it. That's it. But we have a certain set of guidelines we'd like you to talk about. So the difference between being able to do that, or being asked to do that, and then also just being let off the leash. And are you getting hot underneath there,
Yeah.
Leslie?
Yeah. I got a line. I got a hat line.
Or being let off the leash is the difference is that there's no guidance given to some of the other people who might be uh, doing these talk shows and things, where one day you'll hear them say something, and the next day you'll hear them say something completely contradictory because they heard something different on a
Yeah.
Facebook group,
Yeah.
or they heard something in somebody's show, and it's normally all anecdotal as well. Where I love to be anecdotal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love to tell stories and to tell my journey of how I got to a place or where my message comes from. But I don't say that's what I don't treat that as the word. You know, the only word is the bird. No, the only word is like what
Ah,
you
ah,
see on. The only word you ever should be listening to is what's on help.whatnot.com. Anything,
yeah.
any question that is ever thrust into somebody's face on this app the answer can be found instantly on help.whatnot. Just
Yeah.
search it. That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
There should be nobody on this app charging you for that information. There should be nobody on this app telling you something that's not on that list as the truth. It just shouldn't. It
Yeah.
kind of shouldn't
Yeah.
happen, and it's difficult to watch because you sit there and we do not claim. I don't claim to be the oracle of whatnot knowledge. I mean,
Ah,
by far
ah,
from it. The
yeah.
amount of times I have to look something up or
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
somebody how something works, because I'm here to fundamentally to run a business.
Yeah.
Secondary is to build my community and also be an upstanding member of the whatnot community as well. And I think 99% of people on the app are like that too. And I'd like to think that anyway. But there are a subset of people that I feel are here and they're addicted to the viewership. I think they're addicted to the clout that comes with maybe almost believing they're the first to have the knowledge. And yeah, for whatever reason, that seems to be a really strong category. I don't
Yeah.
know why people love to know stuff that they, whether it's true or not, they just want to know stuff, and it's difficult. Maybe I'll start doing my own show. Keep going, let's
Hi,
go.
Colin, Tiny.
How you doing,
I
Tiny?
my thought, and I often say this, and like I only go to shows that resonate with me anyway, but I feel very strongly about that there are a lot of people who do consider themselves gurus, but they never show up at any of the whatnot
Hey, there's that
events.
as well. There's that as that.
I
Yeah.
think it's really important that if you really say you're in, then attend the summit or attend some of the meetups
I
and
said
make
this to you at the beginning
you
of
know,
the year,
yeah.
that for my business, I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, on this account, I sell French antiques. That's my business. My second business, or my second route to building a massive community that I want to be
Mhm.
part of, is the whole cards thing. Now, over 660 people are in that community, and I'm sitting here in France.
Yeah.
So I said to Leslie at the beginning, well, pretty much the end of last year when I met her in Miami, I was like, next year, I'm going to do my best to come here as often as possible and meet as many people as I can, just to show face. I mean, how are you supposed to build trust with people if you can't even turn up to an event? I mean, I went to Vegas, and I went to see Leslie primarily, obviously, but I went Fundamentals. I met the Frugal Couture, Pam, Zodi, Natural State High. I met all these people. It was amazing for me to be the foreigner and come in and see them. Little did I know that Whatnot was going to go and
Yeah.
spring the summit on me at the end of the month as well. So I've literally went back to back flights to get back to Austin to go to the summit. I am a business on Whatnot. why would I have not be at that summit? I mean, it doesn't make sense to have not gone. I mean, if you're serious about networking, if you're serious about even just meeting people, like-minded people in a business relationship, why weren't you at the summit? I mean,
Exactly.
I've had all these people tell me stories about things that happened at the summit and disappointments about why they think it should have been different, and they weren't there. It's like, why weren't you there? Leslie's distracted.
No, I'm sorry. I was typing something in the thingy there.
Oh, can someone? What's that about?
No, somebody was asking about meetups. As you were talking, I didn't want to like
Oh, how'd you
interrupt
find out
you.
about the meetup? So,
So
Ellen.
somebody asked about the whatnot meetups, and then another person. So above Ellen is somebody else. So now you can
Okay,
talk
so
about that.
there's Whatnot have official sponsored meetups. They also have a directory of. You can go to meetups.whatnot.com and you can approach Whatnot and say, I would like to run a meetup. And they can choose to sponsor that meetup. So if they, I guess it's discretional, but I think if you hold enough weight with your community, the chances are that they may come to you and say, we're interested in what you have to offer us, because there has to be a reciprocal kind of thing there. Maybe you'll have enough draw to get 100 people, 200 people in a room, and that gives them the the opportunity to have an event where they can effectively promote Whatnot, get a temperature check on how the community is in that state or that area or that category.
Yeah.
And it's a really interesting thing to be involved with. Even though it wasn't my meetup, I went to upstate New York
Yeah.
for my for first official meetup to the Hodgepodge place in Syracuse in New York. And having been to unofficial ones and now an official one, I would say if you ever have the opportunity to go to one of these meetups, make your first one an official meetup. One that will encourage more people to apply to do these meetups, but also hopefully it encourages Whatnot to continue doing them, because if you is really a case of use it or lose it with
Yeah.
with these kind of things.
Yeah.
And it's a great experience. You get to meet people in a safe, neutral environment, and you can just chat. You can just make connections. You can have friends. They give you. They might even feed you. It's one of those things. But honestly, if you're in the market for going to a meetup and you're interested in meeting somebody like-minded on Whatnot, meetup meetups.whatnot.com,
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah.
Something else that I can offer is meetuphub.app, and that's something that I started because there are a lot of people out there who just want to meet up for coffee. They want to meet maybe two or three people and just get together and chat every weekend. They've got Saturdays
Yeah.
free. They just want to
Yeah.
get together and put butt heads and say, how can we succeed? Have you got any ideas? Have I got any ideas?
Mhm.
And that is something else. I've built it basically for Whatnot sellers as well,
Mhm.
along with a few other things. But this one is not to take away from the official aspect of it. It's basically just to give somebody the opportunity to say, every month I'm going to be getting my coffee and a bagel at that bistro. If you want to sit down for a couple of hours and chat,
Yeah.
this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
So at the moment, there's 18 meetups that are listed, and there's nearly 400 people on that app who are interested in meeting like-minded people.
Yeah.
Um, there are safety guidelines on the website. There are all sorts of other things that you should always follow. Do not go and just meet people off the internet. It's a
Yeah.
scary thing. Uh,
Yeah.
Make sure that you tell people where you're going and doing all these things. Always be safe. But I think it's important that we separate the online aspect of all of this. I feel like I'm friends with Leslie. I've seen Leslie almost every month this year, in real life. But it can become really easy to have that separation between reality and what's on the screen.
Yeah.
So to actually shake hands with somebody, give somebody a hug goodbye, chat to somebody for an hour is so valuable. And if you ever get the opportunity to do it, I would just say just do it. So hopefully that answers the meetup question. But I didn't see the specific question. But there are
Yeah,
two ways,
answered 'em.
or there's one way, that's the Whatnot way, and that's Whatnot. That's meetups.whatnot.com, and then there's also the meetuphub.app.
Yeah.
Which is there as well. And there's literally meetups across the country in the US, from California to New York, and it's amazing to see the map light up. It's been fascinating.
Yeah. So I want to, in terms of the official meetup, just keep in mind they are hosted by Whatnot. Now, Whatnot has a budget and they have a specific seller that they're looking for to host, like Darren said. So if you were to apply and they said no, don't be discouraged about that. One of the reasons why Darren created the meetuphub.app is for people who just want to host a meetup and meet with people. However you do that is up to you. From coffee to convention, you can do it on there. And the
Yeah.
whole key to the community team with Kenny, Kiyomi, and Casey, they want people to meet. It doesn't just have to be. Darren has actually created a solution for that, right? They themselves are official, so they don't want to step over the line with that, but they highly encourage you. So if you're in this mindset that you shouldn't do something, they appreciate it and they want you to do it. If you were to contact Whatnot and say, I want to host a meetup, and they say no, come up with an other alternative, whether it be the Meetup Hub, which I highly recommend you do that, because it's getting out of your own way, first of all, but it's giving you the opportunity to meet people. I say sign up, the map is there. You can see people. Like, yes, do things on your own, but don't get in your way so much that you're like, I'm just not going to use it. It's such a great opportunity. Someone literally just applied to come to my meetup at the Scrap Exchange. I didn't go in and say yes because they did it just before I came on. But there's so many opportunities to meet people. So for the official ones, they may say yes and they may say no. What I will say is if you've already had some type of meetup, they're probably not going to say yes anyway. Whether they if they come to you and said, oh, and you say, yes, I've hosted meetups. I had one last year. They're like, you're good then. We're not going to put any money into you hosting an event. You've already had an event. People know who you are. Now it's up to you to figure out how just to expand it. And to do that, come to meetuphub.app and expand your meetup and meet people. I love it for the fact that you can be notified for meetups. You can decide if it's your state, if you want to go,
Yep.
the whole United States. And I just said the whole United States. Now, mind you, I'm not going to travel everywhere, but it just gives me an idea, and it gives me and I can decide, right? I can decide. My friends made fun of me at the roast. And again, it's all in love. This gives me an opportunity to travel. This, to me, I make them into vacations. And there are so many people who say, oh, I want to go here, I want to do that. For me, that's what it becomes. Yes, it's a meetup. And I'm very into the official because I want to learn and I want to be around Whatnot as much as I can, just to get immersed in that atmosphere, that environment. But also, like, I mean, keep in mind, if I didn't have a community that I knew was going to be a nice community, I wouldn't have went to Michigan. Like, I'm spending my own money, right? I wouldn't be going to Arizona in January. There's possibility to meet people, right? And from now on, I'm going to bring this old crazy binder that I have. I'm not ready for binder 2 yet. I still have about 40 pages. I'm not even spending money like that. But if I ever do, so let's go to Arizona. Oh, Ultra Authentic is
Ultra
in
Authentic,
Arizona.
yeah. I mean,
Yes.
I think there's two
Yeah.
scheduled for
Yeah.
Arizona.
Yeah.
There's one
Wow.
in January and there's one later this year. So
Oh,
yeah, I
okay. Yeah,
mean,
I'm only going in January because I know Height and Normal. So if you want to meet me, Jesse, you have to come to that one. I'm only
yeah.
going for people that are like, if I don't know you like that, then I'm not coming. If it's not Whatnot official and I don't know you like that, I know Mickey. I mean, I went to the drag show with Mickey, so we're locked in. Okay.
So it's not Normal's heightened
Height and Normal designs.
heightened normal designs, and I
The
couldn't
sassy
get my words out
vintage
there.
chick.
Sassy vintage chick. I'm struggling. I'm struggling trying to answer an email and say people's names at
Don't
the
worry.
same time.
Yeah, so I know both Michelle and I know both Mickey. So that was an easy. Plus, I have friends in Arizona that I've been wanting to reconnect with. And so like Darren and I had talked about maybe trying to end the year with something in December. And I was like, you know what? January would be perfect then. It'll give me a chance to save. Now I will say that I just did a raid train with a host, and they live in New York. The Ray Train, I did a Makers Ray Train, and they're in New York. They're actually doing a Friendsgiving event in New York, and I may attend that because it's a train ride or a car ride. So that is something that I can do, and it won't be financially, it won't hurt me financially. So I did
Yeah.
apply, and I would take my husband. I put a +1, and that would be something that he and I could do together. But other than that, I'm not flying anywhere after California. I'm not going anywhere till January. Plenty of time to save. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it. So if you want to do meetups, do coffee. I have every month. I've been doing it for years, but I stopped for a while. And then CG really got the ideas rolling again to just do a monthly coffee meetup. And so I'm going to be going to different cities. I don't really like to drive far, so it's still going to be within an hour, maybe an hour and a half drive, maybe 2 hours where my parents live, my mother and stepfather. And then I'll arrange meetups. And so if you're in North Carolina, I'm not doing Charlotte. Somebody else has to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this last bit and let Darren talk. Because one of the reasons why I talk a lot, because my brain is changing. If I don't get it out, I'll forget it. But
I get it.
don't wait for somebody to do it for you. Right? There's this thing of like, who's hosting? Who's hosting? Who's hosting? How about you host? The meetuphub.app has given you the opportunity. If you only want to meet with 10 people, there's Mickey. Mickey is an introvert, and she'll tell you all the things that she is. I think she's incredible. I think she's incredibly brave, and I think she knows how to put a party together. The space is amazing. So if you want to do it, do it. Don't wait around for something to happen. Make it happen. And Mickey said that I reminded her to do that. Make it happen and stop waiting. It
Yeah.
When you think about meetups, you think about, oh my gosh, the last meetup I went to was 100 people. 5 people make a meetup once a month at Starbucks.
Two
Lock
people make a
it in.
meetup.
2 people. Look,
Just get
I talk for 4, enough for 4 people. So there you go.
that is true. Listen, it would if me and Leslie were at a meetup, you'd end up with 70 people round about us. Should be Leslie be telling stories and selling soap. We should be doing all sorts of stuff. I don't know what she'd be up to.
What you gonna do
Everyone
at
be having a dirty soapy.
what's that Hershey Park? Oh, I've been to Hershey. Hershey was my life. I mean, I'm from Philly, so Hershey. But the meetups at the places like that I'm not
Riley,
interested in that. It's too much. I want, that's a lot of running around, a lot of people. I love
yeah.
people who can deal with that, but that's too much for me,
But do it. Can beast if you want to do
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah,
Get it
yeah,
done.
definitely.
That's the
Definitely.
thing. There's somebody doing a meetup at Disney
Yeah, all
World
the
in
class
Florida.
trips.
You
Yeah,
know,
Michelle knows what's up. Yeah.
there's somebody doing a meetup at Disneyland in Florida in a couple of months' time, I think. They're going to be there anyway, so they've said, "Is anybody else going to be there on that weekend? Let's hang out." And I think
Yeah.
that's the most special thing about it is that you can just be. Somebody actually,
Yeah.
I think, just before I raided into Leslie, I said one of the best things about the Meetup Hub app is when you apply to go to a meetup, you can leave a message for the host. So this applicant for the North Carolina meetup actually said, "This will be my first meetup. Is there any etiquette that I should follow?" And I'm going to be in town that day anyway, and I'd love to come along and meet some
Yeah.
of you. I
Yeah.
mean,
Darren and I did
that's the
that.
perfect introduction. You know what I mean? That's like, okay, cool. Come along and just have some fun. If you don't feel comfortable, at any point, you're in complete control of yourself.
Yeah.
If you're at an official meetup, if you're
Yeah.
at the Seller Summit, if you are at one of the meetups with fellow whatnotters, whatever, you're in complete control.
Yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable, remove yourself. You're not obliged to stay at any of these places and speak to people. I mean, I I'm looking at flights now for Arizona at the beginning of in the middle of January,
Yeah.
and I know that I'm going to be walking into a room
Yeah.
full of people that I don't like.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
difficult. I'm kidding. But the thing about it is, you don't know who you're going to walk into a room
Yeah.
with.
And
So
and that is really important. I've been talking about that for the North Carolina meetup. Love it or
Yeah.
hate it. I will say, and I'm not going to say people's names. It's her meetup. Her name is on the meetup. Anything that's hosted by Whatnot, anything Whatnot sponsored, truthfully, is Whatnot's meetup. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Whatnot's meetup. They're paying for it. This meetup is paid for. So when you just have to get there, they pay. It's the event, whatever there's going to be talking or teaching or whatever, and then dinner is included. This is going to be dinner at the Speedway. I personally could care less who's there. When I signed up, half the people that I know are coming now. I didn't know they were coming. I was going in blind, and I'm so happy to know that there will be friends there. Well, I did know I Love Discounts was coming. Actually, later they're on a roll, but I wasn't sure. Never make assumptions. But
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone. So I was going anyway. It's in my state. I knew last year when I talked to the person who's hosting, I was like, give me the information. I'm coming. I don't go by who is popular. I don't go by who likes who. None of that is important to me. I am going for me, right? And if you don't know who you are in these spaces, then don't go or bring a friend. But
Or
imagine
learn
me,
quickly. Yeah.
or learn quickly. You're not going, if you're going with intention, go for the event and be intentional about that. Even if you only learn one thing, don't, it's too much gossip going on about this meetup. There's too much drama. Go or don't go. That's how I
Yeah.
feel. Oh, I didn't get included in the group. I wasn't whatever. And I'm like, do you want to go to the meetup? Yes, then go to the meetup. That's it.
Yep.
And if I know you, I'll tell you where I'm staying. And if you don't have my phone number, you won't know where I'm staying until I get there, truthfully. But if you have my number, I'm willing to give you, because Whatnot, they're staying in Charlotte. So it's 20 minutes or whatever. That hotel is $400 a night or something like that. We ain't doing
Yeah.
that. I'm staying close to the Speedway, 8-minute drive. It's food and mall and all that over there. There's plenty of hotels. But like, don't
Absolutely.
not go. Don't not go. And I'm going to say this, it's a culture and it's a climate, right, in the world always, but you have to be careful. So I keep that in mind, but I don't go in spaces thinking, I'm the only Black person there. I don't know that for sure, but I'm still going to go. In Michigan, it was only 2 Black people. Like, I'm like, keeping it real. And I'm just saying, I can't go. I just go in and I show up. That I'm just saying, it has nothing to do with Julie. I just go and show up. And I always have a good time. I decide if I'm going to have a good time or not. And sometimes Darren and I have learned from Miami, the meetup event itself may not be beneficial. You may not have a fun, but if you get a good group of people to meet in the hotel and hang out with, or go eat with, go to the beach with, then you've made some connections. You haven't
That's
wasted
the
your time.
that's the experience. Yeah. That's how you can elevate your own experience of it.
Fundamentals. Done. Oh my gosh.
I'm just trying to boot him out the show. Coming in here with that. Yeah, no, if you things are what you make of them, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's if you go in with an open mind,
Yeah.
you'll get the best experience out of it. I think that's the truth. And if you go in with a narrow-minded view of it, you probably won't enjoy it as much as you could have. And
Yeah.
there's all if you go in with preconceptions, I mean, the list is endless. I mean, if you go along thinking, um, if you go, for example, Leslie made the point of saying it, but if you go along thinking, I might be the only Black person here, but if you go in thinking that, you might have a negative reaction to the actual meetup itself, or you might be more withdrawn, or whatever. I mean, I know for a fact if Frugal Couture was in that room, she could be the only Black person. She could be the only person in a room to be a party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it, and not to make it a racial thing at all, because here I am being the only foreigner in the room, if that makes sense when I come to these things. Fundamentals, get out. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. But that it's even as simple as you just don't feel up to it that day,
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
You need to get over yourself and just go and do it if you want the experience, or you just don't go, and you miss out on the experience. It's like nobody else's responsibility in that situation for you to have a good time or an enjoyable time or a great experience or a bad experience. It's a very important self discovery mission that you have to take on and just go and do it. I
Yeah.
mean, in December, serious, don't be afraid to host a meetup. Exactly. Get over it. Get over yourself. Get yourself a co-host, and and just go for it. That's it. You know what I mean? It's do it. Just
Yeah.
do it. If you don't do it, you can't say you've done it, or you'll never know.
There it
And that's the
is.
thing.
That's the key right there.
That's a good sum up. That's a good sum up.
Yeah.
Does that have a message board feature for during the meetup? Yeah, so there's a message board feature, but a lot of people also drop a link to like a messaging app and things like that, where you can do a group chat. But if you need fundamental information about the meetup, there's always a callback that you can go back to the Meetup Hub, and then you can sort of get a link to where you need to go, or there'll be like an itinerary posted, and then there's also the ability, for example, if you're at a venue and say, I don't know, maybe you wanted to go away for half an hour, uh, and you're missing, and the
Yeah.
host is like, oh, well, we were
Yeah.
thinking about heading on. There's
Yeah.
an option there that they can message everyone
Yeah.
by email,
Yeah.
instantly. The host can do that. So
Yeah.
it's a really good tool
Yeah.
for meetups. I mean, it's specifically built for that purpose. So
Yeah.
that's
And
it.
I actually want to expand on that. Aside from the Meetup Hub, if you're going to any meetup, right? Darren did allude to this a little bit. If you're going anywhere outside of your area, I'm flying to different directions. People at home know where I'm at, and then people where I'm at know where I'm at, right? And so the cool thing is, if I'm already in a hotel with someone, if I'm somewhere that Darren is, he knows where I'm at. If I'm somewhere that Julie is. And the cool thing about it also is people who know you're supposed to be somewhere, they're checking in on you. Natural
Yep.
State of High is like on it. Darren, Julie. So if I go somewhere and people know I'm supposed to be somewhere, if they don't see me in the morning or whatever, or if they haven't heard from me, they are coming to inquire, where are you, Leslie? And
Yep.
these are this is the truth, because often I go through, like right now, I'm having a hot flash. So often I may not feel well. So they're going to check in and make sure that I'm okay. That's
Yeah.
where we came with. That's how Darren and I got. That's how we got that though. That's how we go. Yo, Darren, where you at? That's how that started. Like just yo, Darren, where you at? You
Julie
said
said she'd check
you're
on
going
you,
to
but
check
she
on
wouldn't
me,
check
but
on
you're not
me.
going to check on him. I don't have any. I can't. You know,
It's okay.
I'm
It's
not
okay.
even.
George is my next of kin in the
Yeah,
US. If anything
yeah.
happens to me, or if I lose a
So,
leg or whatever, they put me in a box. They send me to
yeah.
George's house, and then they send me home again. So don't worry about it, Julie. I didn't need your help anyway, Julie. It's fine.
Too funny. Too funny. Somebody asked earlier, I think it was Jeannie, and she asked, would meetups be a great place for a new seller to get information? I want to say, and
Yeah.
well, one is that she hasn't started selling. I think it would be great for a new seller, but what I would probably suggest though is that you already start. Like I did go into Genie. If you don't have any shows booked or anything like that, maybe book some shows and start selling. So when you come, you already feel like you're a part of the conversation, and
Yeah.
then you can get more information. Now, I will say that not every meetup is going to be a seller interactive meetup. So especially if you do the meetuphub.app, people are going to come. It's going to be fun. It may not be what you're looking for.
It's
So
primarily social.
be very
Yeah.
selective of how, because some people are coming strictly for education, so you have to look for those type of meetups. Normally with a Whatnot sponsor, there's going to be some type of speaking or education piece with that, and then a little bit of socializing, and then dinner or whatever. So just keep in mind, definitely, if somebody could drop the meetuphub.app in there, put your state in there and look for some meetups. And a great way to kind of ease in is maybe do social and meet some people in your area, and you'll probably meet your best friend. And that's the cool thing
Yeah.
about that.
You really
You know,
could. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, why just one best friend? Why not have five,
right.
six best friends
I look
from
at this.
different states? You know what I
I
mean?
had 12 friends roasting me on the freaking and I met everybody except for Lulu, 80, and Ross. They said they're coming to North Carolina, so we'll see. Other than that, I've met, and that's the beauty of it, right? I've met so many people this year,
Yeah.
last year and this year, and it's just amazing for me. Like it all started off with like fundamentals, right? He and I mean, going to Vegas and really meeting him and getting to know him, and he's become my brother. He's my black brother. Darren's my white brother. You know,
I'm the filling to the Oreo. That's what it.
no, oh no, he's not. Yeah, well, the double D's is what.
You know, we don't go down that road. Here for it. Yeah, I hear everything Leslie's saying. It's a great opportunity to just meet people
Ooh,
and
nice. I love it,
to do
Julie.
that. I am chronically in this position where I am always available to talk about business. Now, people naturally gravitate towards me for that. I don't know why. It's just they want to run ideas past me
Yeah.
constantly. Now,
I
I
may have
don't
told
mind it.
people to do that. I may have told people to do that.
Okay, well, Leslie's the culprit, but you know, I am chronically available, and I'm not saying do not talk to me about business when I'm at a meetup because I enjoy it. I'll if you give me the spark of an idea that you want to make happen, I'll do everything in my power to give you the inspiration to make that
Mhm.
happen. But you know, I'm also there having traveled across the
Yeah.
Atlantic to have some fun as well. So when it comes down to expectations of a meetup, and I'm only saying this from my perspective, if you want to talk to me relentlessly about something, then be prepared to share that. And with anybody
Yeah.
else, be prepared to share their attention with
Yeah.
all the other people in that room
Yeah.
as well.
Exactly.
Because if there's 10 people in that room, 10 people want that same
Exactly.
FaceTime, you know?
Exactly.
So it can be for me it's
Yeah.
impossible, but it can be
Yeah.
difficult for somebody to say no. You know, I want to just change the subject, or I'm going
Yeah.
to go and speak
Yeah.
to those people for a
Yeah.
minute and see how it
Yeah.
goes. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
So
I have the same
expectations.
well, I have the same challenge, not from the business perspective, but like if people know you're going to be somewhere, oh, Leslie, they'll get in my DMs. Can we have dinner? And I'm like, yeah, you, me, and 20 other people. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way I can go to this meetup and it's just you and I. Like at the summit, I don't know how people just thought that I would just like be able to sit and talk. So that's why I always say that if you're somewhere and I'm in the lobby and I'm just hanging out, that's your opportunity. That means I've opened up myself for you to come down and have conversation with me because there's no way I could just make time for everyone like that. And
Yeah.
so, like you were saying, be prepared for anyone to come sit down like with me. That is always an open invitation from me because I want to get to know everyone, but you can't just take people's individual attention like that unless you're doing small group events where you're going to get tattoos or whatever, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
other than that, I like it anyway because you already like anybody who's met me knows that I am about not leaving anyone by themselves. If I see you over here, I'm going to bring you in and I'm going to introduce you to the group because that is what we're supposed to do. So you're going to sit down. I'm going to say, Kimmy D, do you know Natural State of High? Do you know Love to Love You? And then now that person has been brought into the conversation and they've met someone so that they don't feel alone. But yeah, if you come to a meetup, Darren and I are hosting one in Concord. That is a perfect way for us to everyone to be together, and that use the Meetup Hub app for that type of
Yeah.
thing.
And it's like it's not like this isn't a big song and dance meetup. And this is just like we're going to be somewhere. We're going to be having lunch anyway. Does
Yeah,
anybody else want to drop in?
yeah,
And that's what I love about the simplicity of the Meetup Hub app.
yeah.
It's something that you can almost hopefully one day when it's bigger. It's
Mhm.
up because I've set it up that if you if you have your state in
Yeah,
you know you have to have your state where you're from in the app. If somebody creates a meetup in your state, you'll get a text message
yeah,
instantly. As soon as that person publishes that meetup,
yeah,
you get a text message that says, hey, there's somebody in North Carolina hosting a meetup in October, do you want to go? And then it's up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only create the digital introduction, and then really it's up to you to make everything else
Yeah.
work after that. So yeah, so we did that, and I think there's 10 people coming out for lunch.
I
I
know,
mean,
and it's going to be bigger as more people find out, or
yeah,
some people are still trying to figure out their. And then also, I do want to say that in this situation, you don't necessarily have to be going to the Whatnot meetup. Some people may not be interested in going. If you're local, an hour, 2 hours, and you want to come in, this is the day before. So we're giving you the opportunity to not just meet us, but to meet other people. It's always going to surprise you, and I've found over the years that if you're in a show like this and someone says, oh, there's going to be a meetup somewhere, right? Like if we reference back to the summit, that went out to everybody, whether people looked at their email or not. But there are still so many people who don't know anything. They don't know.
yep,
And since you start saying it, it just feels like all of a sudden, oh, I'm there. Well, I didn't get any information. I live in Texas. Or if we're going to Vegas, when's Vegas? I live near Vegas. And so if you keep talking about it, this gives the opportunity to people who live in the state who are sellers to come to our lunch.
yep.
And we don't have a problem. So to apply, so we want people to understand that you don't necessarily EJAC piece, it is meetuphub.app. If somebody could drop that in there, into the box. Or I can do it. But it is such a great you got it, Aaron.
There
So
you go.
good. So it is such a great app to participate. But yeah, so anybody can come. Don't feel like you can't participate because you're not going to the meetup for whatever reason. We would still love to meet you. I'm in North Carolina. I have not been in Charlotte in years. It's probably been 20 years. Like I've driven through Charlotte to get to South Carolina, but I have not been in Charlotte. And I probably, since it's 3 hours from me, people think, they look at a state, like they probably look at France the same way. They, oh, you're in Paris. No, I'm not in Paris. But
Yeah,
that's how people look at, that's how they internalize it. Like, oh, you're in my state. But like Texas is like a 3 day trek, three or from one end to the other. I don't know how many days would it take to go from one end to the other, Michelle. I don't know. But that's so if you have ever wanted to hang out and meet me 2 days, if you want to ever meet me, come on down, right? Come
yep.
on down. I would love that.
Has Julie Shopper just released a meetup?
She said that she did. She said it's
A,
thrifting. It's a thrifting
a
meetup.
Michigan thrifting adventure. I
Yeah.
just seen that the number of meetups went from 18 to
Yeah.
19.
She
So
posted it right here. If you scroll up, it's in there. Yeah.
okay, that's so cool. Also, I love the fact that it could be, well, like for example, I'm going to be in the States for nearly 3 weeks coming up, and it's a daunting thing for me to be in the away from home for 3 weeks. It's a scary thing. So I'm gonna be like I'll be driving around. I'll be renting a car, driving around upstate New York. I'm gonna be white knuckle riding around with George from Tennessee back to Kentucky, and then I'm going to be down in North
Poor
Carolina.
George.
So we even with George, we're going to be like, well, we're going to go out for breakfast anyway. We're just
Yeah.
going out for breakfast.
Yep.
So does anybody want to come along to
Yeah.
breakfast? And I think there's already like 5 or 6 people coming along for breakfast,
Yeah.
which it's
I
insane,
think yes,
And
I think
then
it's amazing.
and then when it comes to New York, I'll see what Hodge says about it. But if we just fling something up, I mean, I can go out for breakfast on my
Yeah.
own. I want to go to a little American diner somewhere and get some hash browns and bacon or something. And if you want to come along and enjoy that with me, come and enjoy that with me.
Yeah.
That's the complete beauty of this. And
Exactly.
there you go.
Yeah.
I love discounts. Perfect example of people who just drive like idiots across the country every month to massive mega timelines for whatever reason or time schedules. They are the sort of people that could just say, we're going to be in this town
Yeah.
because we're
I
stopping
think
in
it's
Pass.
amazing. Yeah.
Does anyone are going to grab lunch or whatever? That's what this is for. It's not to take away from the educational side of things that Whatnot want to do, but make it more social. There is an option to do workshops and there's an option to do networking events as well. I mean, if you really want to, uh, the difficulty that I have with people doing their own meetups from an educational point of view is that you have no authority to educate people on anything other than getting together, unless it's something. Do a meetup for um, creating a logo, or do a meetup for this. If you're a graphic designer, do that, but don't do a whatnot meetup if
Mm.
you're basically going to be teaching the you know
Yeah.
it's so ambiguous is what I'm trying to get to.
Well, if it's not
It's like
sponsored
if you're
by
going to do,
Whatnot, yeah, if it's
if
not
it's not
sponsored by
sponsored by
Whatnot,
whatnot, it's a
I'm
difficult
not
thing
doing
to
it.
say, we're going to show you how to sell on whatnot, or we're
Yeah,
going to do this, or
yeah,
we're going to do that,
yeah.
because you
I'm
don't
not
really.
paying for that. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, that's
difficult,
just my thought. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's a difficult roundabout diplomatic way of saying it, but if you're not actually sponsored by whatnot in that respect, then you don't really have the authority to do a meetup and teach people how to sell on
Yeah.
whatnot. That's the whole idea of it. Is if you have a specific set of skills, do a networking or a workshop on those skills. People would be queuing up at the door to learn how to pack boxes correctly.
Yeah.
As an example,
Yeah.
um,
So you just
tossing
gave me an
ideas around.
idea, a soap making class. There we go.
Soap
I've
making
done it.
class,
I mean, I've
Leslie.
done classes. I used to do classes, run
You know,
classes, but that's a good idea. A
get
local
get
soap
yourself a
making
whole
class.
bunch of molds made.
Yeah.
I can help you
I
with
already
that. Get
have them.
get some
Yeah.
get some Miss Soapy molds or something like that made.
I'm already on that.
She's
Woo!
on that. She's on it, right? So Leslie's gonna have a soap
Yeah.
making class set up in
Soap
North
and sip. I
Carolina
love it all
that you
across
can
that
go
good.
to. You pay your money. You go along and you leave with a box of soap. I mean that's literally what this app is for,
Piper's
and
is
that's
your girlfriend selling soap on get her on Whatnot. Sell
get
her
her on
soap.
here.
Yeah, get her on
Get
Whatnot.
on
But
get her on
so to
whatnot.
go back to that, and again, I really agree with what Darren is saying. Um, Respectfully, I'm not going to get on a plane and I'm not going to spend my money for someone to teach me if they are not Whatnot. And again, I do would prefer like a networking or some teach your skills. That I prefer.
Yeah.
I am not going to spend I'm going if I'm going a non-sponsored, I'm going for the social aspect of it. I know that I'm going with my friends, we're going to have a good time, we're going to eat, we're going to hang out. That's why I went to Michigan before. Do not be up on the stage talking to me after I'd been on the plane. I want to look, we're at Dave and Buster's, we're having a good time. That was a fantastic meetup, hands down. And I
Yep.
say, Arizona, you got something, you got to do it. Let's see what you got, right? Shop F Stop Lindsay. Bring it, Mickey
Get it
and
done.
Michelle, get it done. But that's what so again, if it's your meetup, do whatever you want. And if people are coming with knowing that's what you're going to do, but sometimes people come because they're just hungry for the meetup.
Yeah.
They're just hungry that I heard there's a meetup. I missed last time, or I heard about one in North Carolina. I'm so glad there's going to be one in New York. That's what it's all about sometimes. And when they get there, you can be disappointed. It can be built up. And when you finally get there, you're like, oh, okay. So just if you're going to have a meetup, you better bring it. Bring the fire, because people are spending their money to come. If people are flying in, if they're driving from a distance, you need to bring it and make it worth it. That's
Yeah.
what I got to say on that.
Yeah, I agree. I think if the beauty of this is anybody can hold a meetup, but
Yeah.
not everybody can hold a meetup that everyone remembers,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
just make it something that people want to come back next year for.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
literally, I think the first thing that we said at the end of the Michigan meetup was, "So, what's the date for next year?"
Yeah. Yeah.
That was it. That was what's happening
And
next
we
year. And
already
Julie was
know the
like,
date. We
"Shit, we're
already
gonna have
know
to
the
go."
date. And if you weren't there last year, you need to be there. And I will say that I know that Arizona is going to be fire because Mickey, I haven't been to a Sassy Vintage Chick. She and Shelby did one last year, so I wasn't able to attend. But I do know that Mickey's going to bring. We were in Vegas, and she was planning stuff in Vegas, like in the group chat. I'm going to be here. We're going to do this. I mean, again, she got me to go to a drag show. and she was excited. She was fired up. I even got a video of her twerking. If you want, anybody wants to see it, $5, I will send it to you. But like Mickey's energy is like contagious as well. So I'm going for that. Like sometimes you just go for one person. Like I'm going intentionally for Mickey, but then I know it's going to be a great group of people coming. And so
Yep.
no doubt, there's no doubt about that. Yeah.
Absolutely. If you can make it to, if you're in Arizona or you can make it to Arizona in January, then I mean that's going to be one to do. You
Yeah.
know. Thank you
Come
so
beast.
much. It's
Let me
going
go look for
straight
that
in my
video
pocket.
now. Yeah. Let me see if I can find the video.
Get it done.
Oh gosh.
Did you
Thanks.
actually tip Leslie $5?
No,
That's
I
what
hope
I'm
you
talking
didn't.
about.
I hope you didn't tip me $5 for real. No, no. Oh, what is this all about?
Listen,
Oh.
Leslie didn't blink during that drag show because there was a guy there doing gymnastics and I was there too. There was a guy doing
Yo,
gymnastics. He was upside
yo,
down. His legs were spread, and Leslie was like locked
the
in. The
guy.
glasses were up. Hold it down a bit, Leslie. That's it.
Is Mickey in here? Where you at, Mickey?
She was here earlier. I think she's still here.
Somebody tag height noise. That I actually had to go into Instagram and get it because I sent it to her.
And you know what? That wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Mickey.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's the beauty of it. She comes across, or she portrays herself as a shy introvert, and that's what you get when you meet her in real life. And whether or not there's I don't know, maybe she's on something. Are you on something, Mickey? I don't know.
No,
Whatever you had
super.
in Vegas, I needed some of it. That's
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
had so
Towards
much
the end,
wine.
many
Just
things.
super sweet. Yeah, just super sweet.
I
Many
loved it.
things. We're all many things, and that's what I like about people, individuals. We're all different. We're all the same because we want to be around each other and we have a common goal, whether how small or big it is. But just the fact that we're all different, we're all weirdos, we're all creatives, we're all introverts and all the things, right?
That's why we're on this app,
No
right?
judgment, right? No judgment. And so leave the judgment behind and take this opportunity to meet new people. Don't stay away because you feel retired, rewired, not retired. Twyla, amazing. Twyla and Mike, so amazing.
Lovely
Super
people.
fun. One of my favorite people, Simply Smart is shopping. TJ comes across as very quiet and shy. Ah, whatever.
Once you
So
get her
this
talking,
is
she doesn't shut up. She's
oh my
worse than Leslie.
gosh, exactly. So this the opportunities to meet people. Wouldn't you want to meet people? And also, here we are. It's July. There's about 20 people. It's 54 people in here. Normally I don't say numbers, but I'm using it as an example. 54, there she is. There's 54 people in here, and 20 people are going like, I don't have the money. It's July. Start saving the money. You can get a last minute plane, you can get a last minute hotel. Start saving the money. I have a separate account just for traveling. I have a
Yeah.
separate account just for traveling. Start putting the money together now,
Yep.
right?
Same. Yeah.
Do more. If you work a full time job and your whatnot is just for fun, add more shows and just do shows to save for your trip. There's always a way. I'm not talking about the people who really, really have kids they can't leave, or if you're a caregiver. But if you keep saying, I want to do it, your saying is not going to help you do it, right? And this is coming from a person who I say it all the time. I don't like to fly, but I've been on more planes in the last 2 years than I had been in 20 years, and I still do it. Turbulence, all kinds of stuff, and I still do it. So definitely make it happen for yourself, right? We're talking about Arizona rewired. We're talking about Arizona. We can't talk about California until I'm not talking about it anymore until the date and information is dropped. But
Yeah.
Arizona, January 16th, Arizona. Yeah. I'm a frequent flyer. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Yep. I met Tiny the artist. I really want to a person that is a couple people that I really would love to like spend more time with. Tiny the artist is one of them. Her creative mind is amazing. And her story of like she's an introvert and I just love everything about her just stepping out of her comfort zone and doing it. When she says she's an introvert and she still shows up, I love it so much. She knows how to disappear and come back. That's how I am. People think I'm like so I don't people well. After a while, I'm like, oh, I'm over it for a while, and then I'll disappear. If I disappear and you don't see me for 2 hours later, one, I needed to rest, at least my mind, not necessarily sleeping. But sometimes it gets overwhelming. And so the people who can put themselves out there, Retro Lucky Ducks, Lisa, I mean, y'all, these are people who don't normally socialize in big groups, but they're doing it. Know why? Because they want to be a part of the conversation in the
Yep.
community, right? Whatever
Which is what
community means to you.
which is what I love about it. And and I don't know why, but I've taken it upon myself to try and break down that barrier for people. Uh, I'll say it over and over and over. The only person standing in the way in your way is yourself. And if I can reduce that barrier for you
Yeah.
to just host your own meetup or open the door to going to another person's meetup
Yeah.
where you might not have had the confidence to do it, it's just a click away. It's apply. That's all you got to do. Boom.
Yeah.
And you're in.
Yeah.
You've made the first step.
Yeah.
The worst case scenario is they say we're full
Yeah.
or no.
Yeah.
And that is, then you apply to another one. That's it. You're going to get the same response sometimes from Whatnot themselves. You might apply to go to a meetup and they'll say, no, we're full. People
Yeah.
were doing it for the seller summit last minute.
Yeah.
They were like, I want to go to the seller summit.
Yeah.
Too late, too bad.
Yeah.
Why didn't you get in the door first?
Yeah.
Why didn't you get in the door early? Use it or lose it, or just miss out completely. You don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something that you're taking your first step. You're a bit nervous. Just take the plunge. It's just going to be people full. It's going to be a room full of people like me, like Leslie, like nicer people than us sometimes as well. And that's the beauty of it. You just need to just wash your
Yeah.
hands of the nervousness and the apprehension and just go apply and then walk away. Don't look at the computer for a while. And that's it. If that's what it takes for you, but
Yeah.
just get it done. And
Yeah.
you will be hooked after your first one. I mean, ask I Love Discounts.
Yeah.
The 10,
Yeah, I
10
think it's
meetups this year.
amazing. I think that's
10,
amazing.
10
I really
meetups is
do.
crazy.
Yeah. I talk about meetups a lot. It's just conversation, especially when I come back before I go to meetups or when I come back from meetups, because I also like look at the conversation that's going on. Tony drives you everywhere. Lysandra, you're funny. So I talk about expectations of meetups, right? Don't have like high expectations, right? Come with no expectations, because if you come with high expectations, especially if it's someone you want to meet, you can be disappointed. So especially life experience has taught you that you shouldn't have experience, because people can disappoint you. I'm literally the same person. I'm literally the same person no matter what, which is, hopefully my friends can attest to that. But if you meet somebody and like maybe somebody that you consider like a bigger seller, and you meet them and they're not what you thought they should be, they were already that way.
Yeah.
So keep in mind they were already that way, and when you meet
People
them,
say, what's they say? They say don't meet your heroes, right?
yes, yes,
Nobody on this app should be your hero.
exactly.
That's it. Nobody on this app should be uh, they should stop the god
Yeah,
complexes, right?
yeah.
I've met Michelle's deals. She's not all
Michelle is
that.
bad.
I've met Leslie. She's rubbish.
Yeah,
I've
I know.
I've met Wired Not Retired. She's the
Ah,
worst.
ah.
Who,
Yeah,
who else is in
yeah,
this chat who I've met? I've
yeah.
met all you guys. I've met Heighten Normal
No,
Designs. Never again.
seriously. I know.
Very disappointing.
I heard a lot of things about Michelle. I heard that she was tall, and like, I'm disappointed that she's like short and
Michelle's just
petite.
up. Michelle's
I mean,
just
what
barely up to my
the
nipples.
lies that people told, the lies that they told. So if you meet her, I'm letting you know ahead of time so you're not disappointed. She's not 6 feet tall. Okay. Michelle, meetuphub.com. Put your meetup up.
I'm gonna get with her at the end of the show because she's
Good.
struggling. So
Okay,
yeah,
cool. Because we okay, good. Because we need that. We need to see you. We need to meet up.
we need
But
the
yeah,
dates. We need the
yeah,
deets.
Yeah, don't meet
But
your
yeah,
heroes. I don't have
don't
any
meet your heroes,
heroes.
and don't go to a meetup with a preconception of what somebody
Corporate
might be like. I think Leslie
corporate
said that.
gods, corporate gods,
That's
no way. She's this taller
6'3".
than natural state of height. She's a little bit taller, maybe an inch. I don't know. How tall? It said meet up in Northern California, 1010. Michelle Deals is declaring it then. So I wasn't going to
Yeah.
say anything, but she's 5 feet. I don't, Michelle,
Is
that's
that with heels or
questionable.
without heels?
That,
I think
yeah,
that's
I
with
know.
heels.
That's her stepping on the curb. I don't know. But like so we were talking about the meetup. Michelle is the one. Sacramento. Start saving your money now. Sacramento,
Yeah,
California on 1010. I'll be
yeah,
there maybe 2 days earlier.
yeah. Likewise, probably. I'm figuring out my flights and stuff for it as
Yeah,
well. So.
I if you have any hotel recommendations, but Darren and I are always looking for the one that we like the buffet.
I just want one with a good buffet. That's all I need. Um, right, but yeah, do, I put up some expectations on the meetup website as well. Meetup expectations and meetup safety. Safety, you're always responsible for your own safety.
Yeah,
If you don't feel comfortable, walk away.
yeah,
If you paid for an event, and you still don't feel comfortable, walk away. It's like
yeah,
you
yeah,
paid for that experience that
yeah,
you didn't fit into. That's a learning curve. It
yeah,
wasn't for you, and it's kind of sour grapes. But at the same time, it's like that's life.
yeah,
I mean, countless things I've paid for and then not enjoyed. So,
yeah,
that is what it is.
yeah.
But
And
expectations, always manage your own expectations. And
yeah,
like you said, don't meet your heroes, don't put people on a pedestal because you set yourself up for disappointment. You
yeah,
know, people have this, and I imagine lots of people have this preconception of me that they completely vanishes as soon as they meet me because I sit on this app and I'm very straight talking. I'm very business aggressive. I'm here to make a change for me. I'm here to sell. I'm here to create. I'm here to do all those things. And if people have a preconception of me, unfortunately, that's their problem. That's not my
exactly,
problem.
exactly.
As soon as you meet me, it's going to be a completely different story. I can
Yeah.
guarantee that, unless I hate you,
Yeah.
and then
I
and
was
then
I
you're
was happy to
and then
find
you're
I
shunned,
know.
and I
Yeah.
won't let you into the buffet.
Yeah, I didn't have any preconceived notions. I actually didn't even know that we would be friends. So
Yeah,
I'm every day. I'm thankful though. I'm really thankful for the friendship that we have.
yeah,
Darren means a
absolutely
lot
the
to
same.
me. Yeah,
Everyone that I meet at these
yeah,
events, and I can say this with absolute truth and honesty,
yeah,
every person I've met at each and one of these meetups, official or not, has been a worthwhile experience for
yeah,
me to meet. And that's
yeah.
the truth. I mean, there's
It's
nobody that I've walked away
yeah.
from and says,
Yeah,
never again.
it's fantastic.
You
I,
know?
I want to go back to something that Darren was saying about safety. Please be safe. I do want to address again, I kind of probably alluded to it earlier, but if you're coming and especially like, well, one, if you've ever had like problems with someone in the app and you know that they're associated with the meetup or whatever, don't choose not to come because of that. This is not high school. Honestly, I mean, if somebody were brave enough, if someone's saying something and it's hurting your feelings, you gotta get yourself to that's on you. Like
You got bigger problems.
you got bigger problem. If somebody's coming to me and they're saying something to me, they're the ones, I'm not going to throat punch anybody, but like seriously, you're going to step in front of me and say something. If you're that insecure, please work on that for yourself. That's not about being shy or an introvert. No one should be coming into your space disrespecting you. That's verbal. If somebody's laying hands on you, then you call the police. That's a whole thing there.
Yeah.
So just protect yourself, but don't not come because of drama and gossip, right? You're too old for this. High school days are behind you. If you accept it, then that is on you. That is not on the people because they win. They win every time. If you show up and you hold your head high and you walk into the space, then you win, right? You win. So that's what I wanted to add for that.
I agree. It's
I'm going to be meeting
expectations.
Gigi John. Gigi John, we're going to be meeting in North Carolina. Let's go.
I know. I'm excited to meet all these people that are just new to my circle
Yeah,
because obviously I'm in a unique position where I've communicated with 660 people. uh, with these cards. And now I'm getting the opportunity to meet them in little
Yes.
sections around the US. It's really, really exciting.
Yeah.
I think it's great. So I'm looking forward to meeting you, Gigi. It's going to be ace.
I think it's incredible what people, this is also what I want people to really think about. We live in the US, so we may take it for granted, but Darren lives in France and he is spending money every time he comes for these meetups. He's spending money to come and spend time with everyone, right? So I think that's incredible. I think that's incredible for him to do that, right? He shrugs his shoulder.
But if I
Yeah.
didn't do it, I wouldn't get the experience, you know?
Oh, of course, of course.
I said at the end of last year to Leslie that I was going to try and do as many as I can this year. And I said to myself at the beginning of the year, I says, this year is going to be my year of discovery in terms of finding out where my boundaries are. And I've learned this year how far I can push myself when it
Yeah.
comes to travel. I mean, I was in debt. I was man flew death's door at the end of at the New
It was
York meetup.
crazy.
You know,
Yeah.
I literally almost had to take 10 days off work, and that's
Wow.
for me is like that's impossible. So I was like, okay, I know how far I know my own limitations now as to how far I can push myself without
Yeah.
real, having something to eat and having something to drink and doing all these sorts of things. So
Yeah.
it's important to learn those things, but and doing it halfway across the world is a difficult experience, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said to myself at the beginning of the year, I'm going to push myself. I'm spending my own money to do this. It's money that I make from the antique side of things, and it's
Yeah.
like if I don't do it, then where are my then what have I got to show for everything that I've
Yeah.
put so much effort into for the last year and a half? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's
I think it's incredible. I
it's
think it's
important.
incredible. Yeah.
And even what's even better or cooler for me is when I get to these events and I see people enjoying the products I've created. These cards are being shared.
That's super
People are
cool.
people are people are going to these meetups to meet each other to share
Right.
their cards and these things.
Yeah.
It's almost like a double barrel
Yeah.
experience, and
Yeah.
and I can stand back and watch it and just go, what have
Yeah.
I done?
It it
and
it started
and just
in
love it.
when I did the meetup and when we did the meetup, Cassandra, Melissa, and I did the meetup in North Carolina, and people just started like Mystery Labs and I forget who else. They had their binders out on the table, and I happened to go live, and I'm like, Darren, like, we just looked around and everybody's trading cards, and that was really the first look of it in live. And then, of course, we did Vegas and then the summit and then everything after that. Like the summit, right? The summit right there was like the whole
Yep.
grant situation. It just doesn't even feel real. It feels surreal that all that
It doesn't feel
happened.
it doesn't
You
feel real.
know, it's so crazy how all of that evolved, right? To
Yeah.
And this is not to keep, my goal is not to always just talk about Darren. He knows that, because it is community, but use Darren as an example of working for what you want. I actually woke up this morning, that was in my head, working for what you want, because no one's going to give it to you. Somebody's going to create an opportunity, but you have to be prepared for that opportunity. So working for what you want. And he had a goal of something that he wanted to do.
Yeah.
That being said, if you have a goal of something that you want to achieve, work for it. You can't say to yourself, oh, this is never going to happen. I'm never going to meet this person or this, whatever. If you have a goal to achieve something, put in the work extra. He knew we're talking, he had a 2-day, he went from Vegas, he flew home. He had 2 days.
Yeah, but I'm an
Flew
idiot.
back. Back to the summit with a game plan. And he had
Yeah.
a team of people behind him. Find you some strong women who got you, y'all. But anyway, some strong friends. But it happened to be a women.
I've always said
And
that though. I've always said that, haven't I?
yeah,
That in order for me to be the strongest version of myself on this app,
yeah,
uh, having studied the app, I don't stand back and willy nilly do business.
yeah, yeah,
I watch people and things and styles of selling and all these sorts of things
yeah,
as well, and I'm disappointed actually in the male cohort, because it's very much, if it's not my way, it's the highway. I'm not going to be friends with that person because it means I can't succeed. And I made a decision very early on to surround myself with like-minded, powerful women. And yeah, women run this app, and it's true. And that has not failed me. Um, you pick up the strong, strong people pick up strong people.
Yeah.
Michelle, for one, small and mighty. Leslie, bald and mighty. You've got the hodgepodge place, crazy and mighty. You've got all of these women, and
Yeah.
I could list
Yeah.
you all, right?
Yeah.
I'm not just singling out those three,
Yeah.
but all of that interaction, all of those relationships has elevated me in my business. And that's not because I'm riding on coattails. That's because I make relationships, and even if it's just a conversation,
Yeah.
I make a conversation that helps me. And
Yeah.
hopefully they can take something from me as well at the
Yeah.
same time. It's not only one-sided or non-reciprocal, but that's what I made a decision early on to do, is to you surround yourself by people who can help you. Don't surround yourself with yes people.
Yeah.
I was about to say yes men, but you know the
Yeah.
terminology.
Yeah.
Don't surround yourself with people that are just going to say yes all the time. You need people that are going to say no. You need people that are going to say honest answers
Yeah.
to you as well. Which is why some people don't like me. I don't
Yeah.
say yes, unless it's to something that's going to
Yeah.
benefit me, or
Yeah.
has potential
Exactly.
to benefit. So yeah, it's an important lesson that you need to learn. And being disappointed in your own kind
Yeah.
is a horrible feeling, because I would love to also build a community of really strong men who are comfortable in themselves, and not, and I say this with peace and love, who are not intimidated by other men. I think the territorial aspect, women are territorial as well, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but the territorial aspect of men in business is ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
absolutely, it's pathetic.
Yeah.
If and that's all I've
No.
got to
Yeah.
say on that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pathetic. I wish that there was more open-mindedness to succeed, because I know that if I was able to bring what I can bring to the table to other men, they were open to changing their ways, then
Yeah.
we could succeed together in a
Yeah.
better way. But
Yeah.
thankfully, from me, thankfully, there's more women who are open to,
Yeah.
to that as well. So it's like, let's just get it done. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
I'm here to help if I can, and I'm here to
yeah.
take what I need. So
Well, my thought on that, and I agree with you 100%. The other part of that, because you said about the men, women can be very catty and they can be very
yeah,
jealous of each other. And so I leave any of that behind. Natural State of High and I were talking last night about this. I've never, and this is my truth, like, I've never had a personal issue dealing with other women because I have my own stuff. So women create issues that don't need to be created. There's a lot of jealousy that goes into that, right? This is how drama starts. She said this, I heard that. I've seen people sharing DMs of people that's supposed to be their friends across Facebook and through whatnot and all of that. And I'm like, why are we still in this place? I am very much like Darren in the space where I can only surround myself with people who are moving on. Yes, we can be friends. I can keep that there, but I would love to be friends with you if you're moving with me as well. Because what happens is when you start to grow, you're going to leave behind people. Now, I like that. I don't mind. We can hang out, we can have breakfast and whatever. But if you're not willing to go even half of the way that I'm going, it's going to be hard for me because I cannot stay back on my growth because you don't want to go. And then that creates a controversy.
yeah,
Talking about each other, right? Not supporting people who are supposed to be your friends. This is a really challenging space to be in, especially when you're a certain age. Darren was saying this the other day, where he was like over 30, he was like over 18. He was like, nah, 30. He's like, nah, we're gonna stay at 18. But when you get a certain age, you should not be standing in that space, right? if you're at a place, if you come to me with drama, I'm not cutting you off, but I'm moving away from you because I cannot live in that dramatic space. You want me to hear what you have to say and agree with you about someone else. And I'm like, listen, I'm over here trying to figure out how to make some money, right?
Yep.
I'm figuring out how to save and to get my life in order. In 3 years, I'll be 60 years old. I don't have what you need me to give you. Right? I know. Next week is my birthday. I'll be 57. I'm saying that because, but like, this is true story. You guys have to like stop doing this as women. There's enough for everybody on this app, right? If somebody's making you jealous, that is because you are not doing your part to grow. Stop being jealous of people and do the work, right? No, you're never going to be even with anybody anyway. As a handmade seller, you know how many people say she ain't doing nothing? Y'all, if you want to know what a volume sell, I'm a volume handmade seller, right? I love discounts for saying last night how they're a volume seller. I'm a volume handmade seller. I sold in less than 2 hours last night 70 bars of soap. I was tired. At 20, I was like, I'm going to end the show. I said, I'm just doing my show for accountability because I did a couple raid trains this weekend and I want to make sure I do my show. At 20, I was like, I gotta go. I'm tired. I was drained. And people came in and then I was like at 60, and I'm like, you know what? I should go for 65. My community was like, let's go for 65. When I hit 65, I was like, should I end or go for 70? And they were like, go for 70. I sold 70 bars and some stuff in my buy now. And I had to raid out. I was exhausted. But like, I don't have room for this. If you want to grow and you wonder why you're still where you are, it's because you're in the rooms that you shouldn't be in. You're talking about people. You're receiving information that you shouldn't be. You're surrounding yourself with people who only want trauma, drama. Get out of those spaces. Choose the direction that you want to go in. Because if you stay back there, you're never going to grow. And don't ever come to me with any nonsense because you're not going to get the answer that you want. If you're listening to me now, I'm going to tell you what I'm telling you now. If you come to my DMs or if you meet me in person. So if you want to hang out with me, I'm going to hang out with people who are positive. You don't have to be growing in the way that I'm growing, but positive. Please don't bring any mess to me because I'm
Yep.
not here for it. And that is 100. That is 100 because I'm a Philly joint.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
Oh, I,
I need to get a Philly John button. I need
yes.
more eyes. Leslie's out there. She's, she's out there on the what eyes, everyone.
Yeah, but before Darren talks, I don't have. You ever notice? Well, no one like if you hear about me on the whatnot streets, it's probably out there. There are people. The reason that it becomes more, you see the people do these shows and they want to come on and talk about people. I don't care what anybody is saying about me. Your name is not on my mortgage. So even if somebody said, "Oh, I was in a show," and they said something negative, I'm not even talking to you about it. I'm not even going to say to you, "Okay," or anything. If you're my friend and you like National State of High came to me with something, I know it's like real something. And she's like, I just want to give you a heads up. But if it's like somebody just hitting in my DMs, you'll never hear me mention them who came in my DMs, and you'll never mention because I don't care. So if you stop caring about what other people think about you, you'll be more successful. Come pay my bills and then we'll talk. But until then, I don't care what you got to say.
I say that a lot, and it's talk about me all you like. I don't care. I don't lose sleep over it. I will never lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
When I switch off this app, I'm not on this app. You know, I mean, you can literally have any opinion about me that you like, and that's your opinion. I don't care. I've grown such a thick skin. I've I if I haven't ever mentioned it, I used to be a DJ for a very long time, and with that being in the public eye, thousands of people a day, 7 days a week, you open yourself up to so much criticism, scrutiny, lies, back chat,
Yeah.
all these sorts of things, stories being made up about you, all sorts of things. It is water off a duck's back. There is nothing you can throw at me that will stick. So
Yeah.
if you have an opinion of me,
Yeah.
keep it.
Yeah.
Or say it to me. Say it to my face though. Don't just say it to everyone else is who's behind me because I'm not looking back.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I
right.
mean?
That's right.
So if you have something to address it. If not, then
Yeah,
don't make it my
exactly.
problem
Exactly.
because I don't care. And
Yeah.
and it's 100% an attitude that if you can adopt and separate your life online through business and have a life off of the line, then you're a winner. You've won because there are so many people who can't separate the two. Yo,
Let's
let's go,
go.
hodgepodge. I
Let's
was just I
go.
was just telling everyone how much I love you,
Bubbles
Hodge.
for the
So,
raid. Bubbles for the raid. Let's go. Bubbles for
um,
the raid.
right, I'm gonna run the giveaway. This is a Yo Leslie, where you at sticker. Look at that.
Christine. Hello, Christine and all her friends. Hello, hello.
Michelle's deals. She is the unfuckwithable woman
I love it.
of whatnot. We've
Let's
made
go.
stickers. She's coined it herself.
Let's go.
Um, it's one of these things. I'm unashamedly exactly.
She's small but mighty, y'all.
She is small but mighty. It's I'm unashamedly, shamedly like that, and
Yeah.
that I think is what rubs some people up the wrong way sometimes. And I hope I fully own that as well. But
Yeah.
I said it in my show the other day. My philosophy is that
Yeah.
if something's for you, it won't go by you.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
that's exactly
Yeah,
that's it. That's words
that's it.
words to live by.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
something's for you, it won't go
Yeah.
by you. And it's
Or
as
just
simple as that.
hello. Hello. Where's Hodge? Hodge, hey girl, hey, how you doing?
She's busy. She's packing already.
Did you just dump your friend? Did you just bring your friends? Hey, how you doing?
What she does is
Congratulations on graduation in school. I saw, look, they having graduation parties and over there. I'm like, dang, I need a jet plane so I can, Cole with the cake and stuff. They doing all the things. Let's go. Let's go. That
I,
is such a great time to see your kids
kind
move on and succeed and do some good stuff. I love it. I love watching it. Yeah.
It's true, but I can guarantee you, she goes live. I know she goes live, and then when she dumps her show, she's like, "Those
I'm
people,
out.
man. Jeez, I'm out." But yeah, but Christine, we're talking about separating real life and whatnot, and you're a fantastic person at doing that. When you're live, your business hats on, and you do the job. I feel as though I'm the same. Leslie
Yeah.
was talking about being
Yeah.
the same as well, and it's you can do that, and then you can switch off. Okay, you can go online, you can still go into other people's shows, but you've got a life off of this app. Some people don't, and being
Yeah.
able to separate those two things is so incredibly important.
Yeah. It really is.
Anyway, enough about Hodge.
Does anybody have any questions? Because I said this earlier. Normally, questions come in at the end, and Darren and I are like, we were trying to end. But does anybody have any questions for me, for Darren, about whatnot, or about
Anything.
usually when Bunny's here, she does really good questions to start like a great conversation.
She is. She's a
Um,
good conversation starter. She is.
yeah. I see everybody using those points. How are you feeling about that? They can be
Oh yeah.
addictive, so be careful,
Put a one
right?
in the chat if you've got points. If you've got whatnot points on your screen. Who's got whatnot points? Natural State High still not got it. Retro Lucky Ducks have you got it or not? Sandog no points. You're pointless. I've got points. Ultra Authentic's no points. Tara Ray's here. Oh hey Tara. Damn it. Those who
Yeah,
don't
so
have
when you
it,
go live, I mean,
sucks to
update
be
your
you.
app, but also when you go live, as soon as you click in the first time, it's going to pop up on the screen. I got mine yesterday. So, yeah. And then the cool thing about this used to be on an app that I used to belong to a couple years ago. As soon as it happened, I was like, oh my gosh, I totally knew that. It was so funny. It looks like
Got you
games.
yesterday.
So
So
instead
that
of
it's rolling out slowly to people, but
Meta is here.
the more I ask who has it, the more I see people that don't have it one day and then do have it the next. So
Yeah.
it's getting out
Yeah,
there.
it's
So
slowly coming out. And I'm usually last to get any type of updates. So I'm surprised that I have it before a lot of people. So I
so
used to
so
think it's alphabetic.
the whole thing is basically just to encourage you to be on whatnot all the time. I mean
Yeah.
that's what it is. I mean, I hate to use the word addictive when it comes to whatnot because it's always got a negative connotation, but that's what it is, folks. And that's what you'll see. This is the archivist turner down, but you'll see this at the top of your screen. Earn more points. Click here, and then more challenges. You've got more
Mhm.
challenges in there. And then in the challenges, you've got things like buying
Yeah.
things, you get points. You get a daily check-in bonus, which I just got 47 points for clicking. You know, you can watch a show for 10 minutes. You
Yeah.
can share a show 3 times, bid on something 5 times, and you get points that go into your balance, and then you can go and shop. Look at
Yeah.
this. You can get,
Yeah.
they can get the
I'm lo- yeah, you get
Leslie
the
on the
new. Yeah,
moon.
when I saw that yesterday, I was like, oh my God. I actually
Look,
screenshotted it.
that's literally
And the cool thing
they
is
created
everybody's
this for
name goes up
Leslie.
there. Yeah, I screenshotted that for I did a video of mine because it comes up, Andy Sameta, let's go.
Yo, Andy, let's go.
Yeah, I
Um,
actually screenshotted it because it when you click in it, it has see how it has thrift shop at the top. Everybody, your own name goes at the top.
yeah,
So I like that. I think it's so cool. And of course,
it,
that's fun because he was Statue of Liberty on his card.
yeah,
So that is
exactly.
so like Moonwalk is fitting for me. Statue of Liberty is fitting for him. I
So
love it.
I'm saving my points. I got 22,000 points. So I'm
Wow.
gonna get the
I'm
50K,
nowhere.
and
Yeah, I'm nowhere close to that. How many sales have you? How many things have you purchased? I haven't made a single purchase using my
that's
points
the
yet.
thing. So I said this to Leslie when we were talking about it. I used to be a big buyer on the app, and now I rarely buy things unless it's something that's just to support somebody. You know, if they're doing a raid train and it's something about me, like Lilac Bloom did a hat with "Keep Going" on it, so I bought a
Yeah,
"Keep Going" hat,
yeah,
and it wasn't about me.
yeah,
That was more about
yeah.
that's more about Lilac Bloom. But
It
you
looks
know, the
like this,
show's
but it
called
says
"Keep
keep
Going,"
going on it.
so I
Mine
bought
says
a
everywhere
hat,
to
and
go.
there's other things, but it's it's changing the habits of
Yeah.
people, and my habit is not buying a lot of stuff now because I have to pay a lot of money to have it shipped back to
Yeah.
France.
Yeah.
So I have been on and I've been trying to game the system. So when you want to when it says you have to do like 5 bids, I go into shows like Cool Kicks that has a
Yeah.
thousand people in there,
Yeah.
and I make sure I'm the first person that bids at $1, and then I walk away. I just do 5 times and I walk out. I'm making sure I don't win. I won Pokemon cards yesterday because somebody just didn't bid, and I ended up with a $12 pack of Pokemon cards. So
Wow.
anyway, you play the game and you win the prizes. It's
Laugh
simple as that.
out.
Be
Oh,
careful
that's
what you're
too
doing.
funny. Yeah, I
Um,
not trying to
but
do
yeah,
yeah. And that's a smart idea to go into someone who has a lot of activity in theirs. I
and I
think that's
and
great.
when I am buying stuff, I will prey on the people who are selling stuff for $1. I just want
Yeah.
$3 bids, and then
Yeah.
I'm out, and that's it. You know, you
Yeah.
pay your shipping as well. Remember, you've got the shipping costs. It's not
Yeah.
just 3 bids and 3 purchases.
Yeah.
It's 3 times shipping if it's
Yeah.
different people's
Wow.
shows and stuff. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
have to watch,
Yeah. You already
and
know
it
I'm
will
not
be
going to get a lot of
addictive for people.
points. Yeah. Yesterday, all I haven't purchased anything. I just did like minimal stuff like the giveaway or staying in people's show. That's never going to be me. I'm just very too frugal for that. And addictions can happen. I'm gonna see a lot of things. People are already addicted to whatnot. And so the Frugal Couture is going to have a lot of new members to the WAC group soon because people are just like that. So someone asked a question about Ray trains
Oh,
up there. And so, can somebody hello, CG Boomer Echo? Speaking of the Ray Train Queen, CG just came in. Somebody asked question. So, speaking of Ray Trains, go to Ray Train 101, hosted by CG Boomer Echo. And also tonight, she's going to be talking about the Raytrain.app and MeetupHub.app. She's giving a lot of information and tutorials for that. I just love how this community has come together. I do also want to say if somebody could put so Ray Train 101, but for the Ray Train app, raytrain.app, if you want to, I'm saying this, Darren isn't saying it, but he can say it himself. He put this app together on his own dime. If you want to go and be a supporter, you can do that. You can be a one-time supporter or a monthly supporter. This Ray Train app has opened up opportunity for people to find new people, build new community, network more. I myself have done a couple signed up for a couple Ray trains of people that I don't know. I do my research. I go to their profiles and things like that. I'm doing a denim Ray train. I'm going to make all denim jewelry and upcycle. And I just did a makers last Saturday. I really liked it, so I applied again. It was one of my best shows in a while. I'm a maker, but I try to stay out of the normal because it just stays stagnant. It hasn't been growing. So I haven't been doing any handmade Ray trains. My friends, they're still in the same space. I have to grow and get beyond that. That's why I prefer cross category. And so, but this Ray Train app support it. If you don't do it monetarily, sign up for some Ray trains, follow some conductors, build your community. I will caveat that by saying do not get addicted to it. If you only do Ray trains as per your hobby, I wouldn't consider it a business. Come for me if you want. If you're just doing Ray trains, it's just a straight up hobby, something that you like to do. But if you're going to do Ray trains in addition to your business, do it in addition. There's a lot of people, there are people, they were doing 5 and 6 Ray trains this weekend. We're getting caught up again like we did when we first started. When they first started, everybody was trying to get on. CG herself, you says it. I'm just saying what she says. She used to be a Ray train hoe, right? And because that's what we were looking, and they were hour long then, hour, 2 hours. But if you're going to do it, be strategic about it. Do a couple a month, do about 4 a month, right? 1 a week. Don't let it take over your business. I myself did 2 on Saturday, and I was like, wait, I didn't do a business show. I usually do a business show on Mondays, right? I mean, sorry, on Saturday mornings, and I didn't. So I did that last night because I'm going to make sure I always run shows for my business first. So don't get addicted because it can be addictive, and don't have a fear of missing out either.
I've got the stats because it's my app. I got the stats here for the last 7 days. 2,300 people have clicked the apply button and been accepted to a raid train.
Wow.
That's 2,500 people
Yeah.
on a raid train because of this app. That's crazy, and that's up from 1,700 last week. So the growth of this app, it shows there's a demand to be on
Yeah,
raid
I
trains.
think it's
But like,
amazing.
but like Leslie says, raid trains are a huge commitment and they're a
Yeah.
huge time consuming thing. Like I don't like being on them. George doesn't mind so much being on them, so I let George do the dollar holla. I let her do like the antiques ones and stuff like that. I don't let her. She actually wants to do them.
Right.
But it's like that's great. The ones that I want and I'm interested in is like painting a pumpkin on
Yeah.
at Halloween
Yeah.
and putting on something funny or dressing up for
Yeah.
Hodge's
Exactly.
anniversary one
Yeah.
and all the Halloween one and things like that. So those are the ones I'm interested in. 5 minutes, get in, get out, so I can get back to business. Because otherwise, I don't have the time to.
Yeah.
One, I don't like group chats. I hate group chats, which is why I wanted to try and. Although there are some group chats still come out for
Yeah.
meetups, I don't. I resent being in them. So I wanted
Yeah.
to try and set up something which
Yeah.
eliminated that.
Yeah.
If I want to know what's going on in that meetup, I'll go to the meetup
That's it.
hub and I'll read what's going on.
Exactly. There we
You know,
go.
I don't need to be spoon fed the
Yeah.
information. I'm an
Yeah.
adult, you know.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there are some people that just cannot read. Well, both they can't read and they can't just take instruction or direction at
I
all.
know. It's a
So I
shame.
mean, it is a shame, and it's like, okay, so those people need the constant interaction. I would like to let's normalize removing ourselves from group chats if we don't need to be in the group
Yeah.
chats.
Yeah.
I have this. I've started to do it now that if I get put into a group chat I do not want to be in, I'll just leave
Yeah.
and think of me what you will. I'll just leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say
CG
it ain't so.
knows.
People don't read.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
CG and Julie know that I don't like those chats. Sometimes like CG will say like stay in or whatever. She'll stay in for some people for the video. I don't need to stay in for the video because I follow her on Instagram. So I'll exit stage right real quick. But like for the raid train, the cool thing is you can do messages. You can find your stop. You don't need a list of people. I think people are handheld when it comes to these things. And I, as conductors, if you have to do it, that's why I don't do them. I used to do a lot of raid trains. People know I used to do a lot of raid trains. I belonged to Shopaholic. I was back in the day, Battle of the Bat, all that stuff. And I just can't hold hands with people because they don't read, they don't listen. I'm not chasing people down, and it's not worth it. What I want to say to people in terms of these apps, I said it earlier about meetuphub.app. For the raytrain.app, you can die on your sword if you want to. The purpose of these are for you to make it, for it to make it easier on yourself. People are still inviting me, Sign Up Genius, or they do it behind the scenes with a list and all that. And I say to them, I'm not joining your Ray Train unless you go into the app. And I'm not saying that to be mean. This is the best structured app, the best structured way to go. Sign Up Genius was halfway there, and this is all the way there. Anything tweaks that need to be done, you contact Darren, and if he can fix it, he can. And
Yep.
I just find that it's the best way to find your stops. I go in and it's blinking, whoever's live, and I can click on it, it takes me right to their show. But I will say, like, if you have a meetup and you are really tired of the same people applying, you've exhausted your resources in finding people, don't get rid of your pride and put yourself on the Ray Train app. It is not about you. Like, I'm just not going to use it because it's not my brand or whatever, or I don't want anybody to know. Or you're going to meet so many new people. You say you want quality people on your Ray Train. This is how you do it. And I'm pretty sure eventually people are going to be like, are you on the app? Yeah, I ain't doing that. And so eventually you're either going to fall off or you're going to have to go into the app. And I say this from I have seen people who are saying, like, I'm older and I can use it, whatever, as a person who likes Ray Trains, but who likes some type of structure. It's going to be really good for you, this Ray Train app. Like, listen, CG, seriously, like, because it's CG's for it, I'm totally for it. But as the person who does the most Ray Trains on the app, CG Murmuring Echo, if she's doing it, you want to be wherever CG is. I
Yeah.
have my conductor's favorite. You can favorite conductors.
I mean, I
There's
don't
so
want
many
to.
things. No,
I
no,
don't want to
but
blow. I don't want to blow smoke up CG's backside any more than
yeah,
Leslie has. But honestly, the proof is in the pudding. She's on that app. There's 130, 140 people following her. The competition is real, folks.
yeah,
If you want to be on those trains at a high profile, anyone can start a train and have a train full of friends, no problem. But if you want the variety of people coming through your trains and you're a conductor, get on the app. Somebody asked me the other day, how do I use the app to become more visible to people? I says, you tell people to go and follow you on the app. Only as conductors can you be followed. So close to 150 people, let's say. CG makes a train in the background. As soon as she hits publish, 150 people get an email. There might only be 30, 40, 50 spots. You're already in a competition. So that is the exciting part. It's bringing almost excitement to in applying to these
yeah,
Ray Trains. And also with that comes great responsibility and self-discipline.
yeah,
You will be rejected.
yeah,
This isn't a participation trophy event.
yeah,
This is like, you will be rejected. You will get like a no, and be prepared
yeah,
to accept that, because
yeah,
I think also on this app, hey everyone, I think on this app sometimes people are too used to being yes being said to them. Oh yeah, sure, you can get on the raid train. Oh, I'll arrange that
yeah,
for you. The pressure's on now.
yeah,
CG always talks about the pressure. I make fun of it because I've basically eliminated all pressure from her. All she has to do is click yes and no,
yeah,
and look at some people's profiles. I'm being facetious, kind of, but the beauty of that is that you're going to be able to you're going to be put in a position as an applicant
mm,
of applying for these for these rate trains. You know what I mean? Point taken. You agree? That's what I'm trying to get to. You just need to be prepared to be rejected, but also be prepared to open the door. Like Leslie said,
yeah,
she's applied for 2 or 3 other rate trains of other people she's never met before. She's
mhm,
done a little bit of research, but that might be the key to opening the door to another avenue of selling soap or selling her
yeah,
handmade items, or
exactly,
she's on a denim
exactly,
rate train, all these
yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah.
So for me,
Congratulations.
I've kind of been looking at it from my thrift shop perspective, where maybe I'll apply to be on a few raid trains. I'll stay up late a few nights a week and go on a raid train just so that I can get eyes on on trading cards.
Exactly.
Now, to capitalize on that, I only need to be on trains that are, 30, 40 people
Yeah.
strong, because you work on a kind of a 10%. If 10% of people are interested in your stuff,
Yeah.
I might get 4 cards out of it, which
Yeah.
is great. And I'm only doing that to build a community. I'm not even doing that to make money. So it's like, from that perspective, it's even useful. And it took me what, 2 months, 2.5 months to even figure out that it's going to be useful for my business.
Yeah.
So that is, it's a huge takeaway from
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
don't be so proud as to not use a free
Yeah.
tool just because I
Exactly.
need it. Right?
Exactly.
My
Yeah.
name's on the bottom of the website. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that off. If you really refuse to get over yourself and use something that's free and is going to make your life easier,
Yeah.
then that's your problem. Good luck on Sign Up Genius.
Yeah.
Good luck chasing people around
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
internet. I created this to make uh, raid trains accessible and free. No, accessible and fun, and I
Yeah.
wanted to make it free. So that's
Yeah.
the bottom line. That was the only reason I did it, and
Yeah.
also to be the person who did it and did it best.
Yeah.
So that's my own personal
He's
challenge. I'm
very
always going to do that.
competitive. Yeah. He's very
I'm always
competitive.
going to be that guy,
Yeah. I
So, hey, NYC, welcome in. NYC, by the way, has a
that,
meetup
that-
on the Meetup Hub app.
that's the New York trip I was talking about. So what's
Yeah, there you
up,
go.
NYC? She was the Makers Ray Train that I was on. It was fantastic.
Ah, okay,
Yes,
cool.
she did the Makers Ray Train, and I signed up again. So the New York meetup, I signed up because I was like, it's perfect. I can get there in a day by train or whatever, and I could bring my husband with me, and then he can be home in a dialysis or whatever. And so this is a really great opportunity for the meetup aside, but the Ray Train app. I knew who NYC Busy was, but I'd never been on her app, and we also hadn't really interacted. And so one of the things that I do when it comes to anything for my business, I really try to study it. And this is really a great tool. Like I said, I am not nilly-willy going to go in and just go, oh, it's handmade, let me click on it, or it's cross category, let me click on it. I'm really going to look at the person, how many shows, like what is their reputation. It may go right or it may go wrong, but at least I've looked into it for my business. I am not hungry anymore for just anything. I like to get invites now, and that's been like a huge thing. And when it comes to CG, she tells me no, and I tell her no, right? Like she invited me to Battle of the Best. I'm like, CG, July is just whoo, come hit me in the fall. I have a perfect sweater for the fall. And so don't be in such a FOMO space, and also go beyond CG. Even CG will tell you that she does Ray Trains herself. She wants to do something different and have fun, but she's also looking for new people for her Ray Trains. You get a 5-minute slot. That's your opportunity to talk about your business. Find something that's going to work for you. I did say in NYC, like, and this is also the makers market that I did hosted by NYC. I don't do buyers giveaways, and I did. I knew the rules going in. I never do buyers giveaways. For me, that's not something that I'm interested in doing. But I did it for the Ray Train, right? And then I also don't do longer Ray Trains. It was 30 minutes, right? So I had to make sure I was prepared for that. If you're going to do these things, be prepared. Read the rules. I said all of that, but I also, when I say that, I don't say it in a negative way. I say it in a teaching way, so that people can realize you don't have to do giveaways. You don't have to do buyers giveaways. I know what I'm prepared for in a Ray Train. I do my homework. I try to do my shows. If you say yes, my show is listed. Unless I'm on the road somewhere, my show is listed within 10 minutes. And I love the fact, one of the best things on this app is that you can copy your link, and it goes into the Ray Train. Y'all, why aren't you doing this?
Do you know the
I'm like,
amount of do you know the amount of times that I've been on a train, or I've been looking at the train app, and because everyone's links on it, you can just click on it and then it shows you who's live now, who's live next, and you never get lost.
yeah,
And there's all these people, we were guilty of it almost in the um
Thrift Shop
in
Express.
the Thrift Shop Express, where it was like, if you get derailed or if you get left behind, go and search Thrift Shop Express. No, go straight to the Meetup Hub app
Yeah,
and go to the
yeah.
Thrift Shop Express
That's how it
page,
worked for me.
and you'll get a direct link to, and it'll open
Yeah,
the show perfectly on
yeah,
your phone. It'll just be
yeah,
there, boom.
yeah,
And
yeah.
the amount of, even if you're not on the train, the
Right.
discoverability, if you're just browsing, you can see trains that are
Yeah,
live now, and
yeah.
you'll find shows that you never knew existed. And it's
That's what I did because I'm not a person who rides all the like Battle of the Best. There's no way I'm sitting all day doing Battle of the West. Now the Thrift Shop Express, I was on the whole time. An hour Thrift Shop Express I wanted to do just to see new people and support them. But if it's an hour Ray train, I'm totally going to ride, especially if I'm interested in it. But if it's like 77 people like on a karaoke Ray train, ain't no way I'm sitting on there. One, because my ear can't handle it and my eyes are like, dude, put some clothes on or whatever the situation may be. It's a whole thing. But I can go to the app and look and see who is on. Like I was so disappointed. Like I had Tasha LaRae scheduled. My mom called me just before Tasha was going live and I had to talk to her. So I missed Tasha singing and a couple other people, but I caught some people that I was interested in. I'm not going to go. Some people just ride it for the giveaways. I don't have that kind of attention span. And they say put your volume down. I don't have time for that. But this
no.
gives you the opportunity to pick and choose. If you get lost or if you're interested, just go to the raytrain.app and pull up the Ray Train. You can, the cool thing is you can search, you can just put in the search bar. There's so many opportunities with this app that I just think is amazing. You apply, you wait to get accepted. Some people invite you. I've been invited. I have said no because I'm very selective about the Ray trains that I want to be on. You know, if that makes you say I don't want to invite Leslie, that's fine. I think I'm a great add to your Ray train, but I can't just be anywhere. Which no, hey, that's me knowing
I
myself.
know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Years ago, people would invite me because I was a handmade seller. And so the people who started investing in me when my friend OMGYG and Shopaholic and Battle of the Best, I was again, sometimes you are the first, right? And now there's so many handmade sellers that CJ's like, CG, I did it. CJ, I called you CJ. CG's like, I can't have you for a while because I gotta let other handmade sellers. And I love that actually. For me, that is the best win of anything. But like I'm when people invite me, I love it, but I'm still gonna be careful. I prefer actually a cross category because I can get my soap in front of more people that didn't know I was around.
Yeah.
Handmade is great, but I think sometimes we're still that community that is the same, you
The
know.
expectation of that as well, when you go into something that's out of your own realm normally or cross category, go in with the expectation of you're just getting eyes on you.
Yeah,
You're not going to make $1 million.
yeah,
You're not going to make maybe $100,
yeah,
but when you do it,
yeah,
you may see 100 people might
yeah,
see you,
yeah,
and
yeah. I've
that's
grown
the
exponentially
opportunity.
because of that. That is where my growth, it's people don't realize that. So many people they go out and they they buy items for the Ray train, and Ray trains aren't there to make you rich. There are going to be these Ray trains like that CG puts on, like the 50, and a lot of these Ray trains specifically geared to selling. We do like Dalahalla. I'm coming on Friday with, I know my intention is to sell some items. If I sell 30 items, I'm still golden with that. But I've met after the show is over, and I'm not into followers. I've never have. For 4 years, I haven't even hit 25,000. That's very slow growth. But let's make it clear. I'm about to hit 25,000 sales. To me, that's the most important than the followers, right?
It should
And
always be that. You should
I
always
think people don't get
you
it.
should
Now, I
always
will
be building
say,
those metrics in
right,
that direction.
exactly.
It should be sales
Yeah,
over followers. I
right.
mean,
I
it's like
will say
always.
the only thing that's challenged me a little bit is to kind of increase my numbers is that often CG or JJ will have the Ray trains where you have to be a certain amount of followers. That's really it. When I hit 20,000, I'm like, CG, I'm in, right? And then I was like, as soon as I was ready, the one that I wanted, she didn't invite me. Cause I was like, dang, no, I'm just playing. But I mean, eventually she will. CG, she knows I love her. But I think that those metrics are really important. It's people get so caught up, my followers, my followers, my followers. If you really think about it, like if you think about ThriftWorks, I don't know how many followers you have, but if you look at the numbers, the math don't math.
I don't know.
There always should be about, it should be 200 people here or more based on our follower count. So if that proves that followers is not where the people are coming from. So never get
Also,
caught up on that. Don't get caught up on that. And don't get caught up on that for raid trains either, because sometimes that just means you're not ready either, right? You
Yeah.
got to get ready. Numbers to me don't mean experience. So that is what people determine who's a big seller and a small seller. 25,000 followers does not make you a good seller. So oftentimes, unfortunately, that is blind. And so that's why people feel some kind of way, because you can have somebody who has 8,000 followers, but they have 15,000 sales. And so, of course, I would feel some kind of way when you're like, I need 25,000 followers, but why? I'm putting in the work. And so don't let that discourage you, people. If that's the case, go on to something else
I mean, you
and
can absolutely
build
do
up.
it with you can do it with 0 followers. I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
I say 0 followers. I mean on a new account.
Yeah.
Like I live in France. If you didn't know that, I live in France. So I was tied to a European account. Now, a European account, yo, Leslie, where you at? A European account is a very different thing from a US account. If I went live right now on my European account, not one of you would see me in the For You page. Not one of you would see me in a category page,
Never.
unless you scrolled to the bottom of the listings, way past everything that's scheduled out for years and years, right? I managed US based customer, US customer base 99%, 99.5%, something
Yeah.
stupid like that. Customer base, and still hit Premier as a European seller, selling stuff to the USA. I did it without visibility. So the whole point of that is that you shouldn't be thinking about followers. There was no discoverability.
Yeah.
I couldn't run
Yeah.
giveaways. I couldn't
Yeah.
do anything but sell. That's the important thing. If you're here talking and not making money, stop talking and just get out and start making money. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? We're here
Yeah.
not making money today because we're
Yeah.
here just to talk because we like
Yeah.
each other. But
Yeah.
you know, at the end of the day, if you're doing talk shows and you're turning up and your business isn't growing, then what are you talking
Yeah.
for? You're
Exactly.
less talk, more
Yeah.
doing, right?
Yeah.
And it got to the point. Actually, I was forced by politics, basically. The tariffs came in overnight. My European business stopped because I couldn't ship. Whatnot literally switched off the label button. There was no shipping, no nothing. 0 followers. Within a week, I had a US account. I had a business set up. I had everything. I started shipping all my inventory to Kentucky. 0 followers. Even my even my buyers who are buying from me in Europe stopped buying from me here in the US because I had to compromise on my start prices because I had to make money, if that made sense. Now I do everything for dollar starts. I have probably 30 first time buyers every show. That and I have an increasing return buyer uh, quantity of return
Yeah.
buyers. That was all done from 0 followers, effectively, because even my existing buyers didn't want to buy from me in the US. There was too much
Wow.
competition from them here.
Yeah.
So I went from achieving Premier to achieving Premier in less than 2 months. But what not makes you wait 3 months before they
Yeah.
give you the wings?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, you have to prove yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
either way, it's totally achievable with
Yeah.
0 followers.
It's
Go
it
live,
is.
get on
Yeah.
this app and start
Yeah.
selling your stuff. If
Yeah.
your stuff is good enough,
Yeah.
people will buy it, and they will buy it by the truckload.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
and that sounds very clinical, but it's true. If your stuff is good enough, they will buy
Yeah.
it. If
Yeah.
you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
And you do not need them to follow you. I mean, you
Yeah.
do not need the
It,
followers.
it really is,
That's
because people, and that's what the categories are for, right?
yeah,
That is what the categories, the For You page, the that is what those are for. You're going to come up the category. Someone's looking for beauty. And I have a different story, but I'm a handmade seller. Ver not I never put my handmade items in handmade category. When I list my items in my show, I create, and that's from the beginning. I was women's contemporary from the beginning. We're talking July 29th, 4 years ago, 2022. It was arts and crafts. There was nowhere for me to go to sell tie-dye tees. So I did women's category. I still do that. So when I load that show on July 31st, which is going to be my 4-year anniversary show with tie-dye tees, it's going to be under women's category, women's contemporary. And as I load in the shirts, then as a tag, it will be handmade because there still isn't the audience for that. The second part is my skincare. There still is no handmade skincare, soap, bath products. For 3 years, it's been 3 years that I've been selling my items. It was skincare, it was beauty, makeup and skincare first. Then it went to beauty. That's all I've been doing. They just added bath and body, and just sell under that. That's the way it's always been. I just added a show. They just added men's grooming. There's no handmade qualifiers, but I'm still there. And so all the people who think they can't do it, you can do it. When people will buy what they want to buy, they'll search for what they want to search for. You
Yeah.
have to make yourself present. I will say it's going to be harder for people if you have a show and you're like, oh, today I'm selling clothes. And like, if you look at the title, clothes and soap, it has to be one or the other. When I made my introduction, though, 3 years ago, my goal was never to sell soap. I started selling soap for my daughter, who's on the spectrum, who couldn't get a job. And I was like, let's do something, right? Let's do something. Put $40 into Amazon. I had actually purchased her a kit 3 years prior. She never touched a kit. She wasn't interested. So I took what I already had, essential oils and everything, and I put $40 in and said, let's just start and see what we can do. The reason that I do melt and pour is because of her. She doesn't want to get into shea and lie and all that. I need something simplistic. And so I would sell my tie-dye tees, and then I would say, look, in a couple weeks, no, I said in about a month, my daughter and I are going to start selling soap. If you would indulge me, I said it exactly like that. I have a couple bars today, and I just got a feel of the chat. And every time I did a show, I would show a couple bars and they would sell right away. And that was just me with she and I had made soap together. She went live and she was like, Mom, it's a little bit for me. If I can only go like every 3 weeks or a month, that's all I got for you. And at one point, she got really overwhelmed and she stopped for 6 months. And I was like, what am I going to do? Right. And so I doubled down and started making the soap myself that works for me. Stephanie goes live. If you bookmark her show, it will be July 22nd. That's Stephanie's show. She makes it, she colors, she does that. I do quality control. But a business was born. I am 13,000 bars plus of soap here on Whatnot. I have not even, I have a little bit on my website. I have family and friends that buy there, but now with the Shopify integration, I'm going to start building up on that. But I have not been anywhere but Whatnot. And 13,000 bars of soap. I'm saying that to you to piggyback on what Darren said. You can do this. You can create a business model.
I should caveat it. Sometimes you hear people. I was reflecting what I said, right? And I was saying, I did this, I did this, I did this. You can do it too. Do not misunderstand that I work fucking
Yeah,
hard.
yeah,
I
exactly.
really am
Yes,
constantly
what he
online.
said.
I have my business is in the US, so
Yeah,
I work 6 hours ahead of
yeah,
business. So
yeah,
I am constantly looking back. I'm constantly looking back at what's going on. If George is going to go live at 6 p.m. and I need to be there to see what's going on, I'm up at midnight
yeah,
through till 3,
yeah,
through till
yeah,
4 sometimes because of the show
yeah,
times. Then I've still got to wake up and I've still got to do all the rest of my jobs
yeah,
and then get back to doing this. This is what I do full time, but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
constant. You have to, if you want to make it work, if you want it to work, you're going to have
yeah,
to want to make it
yeah,
work, and
yeah,
you're going to have to sacrifice a lot to get yourself started. But I'll say there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
yeah.
You might feel sometimes you are on a fruitless journey to nowhere. And then one day it'll just happen. Believe it, it happens. It'll just happen where everything clicks, and suddenly now I've got luckily a great co-host effectively in George, who goes live and sells the antiques for me in the US, who I trust and adore. So she goes and does that, and then that takes the responsibility off me to a degree, so that I can then focus on other projects.
Mhm.
Thrift Shop Trading Cards was born. Now there's somebody else that ships that. So
Yeah.
George doesn't have to do it. George used to have to do all that shipping on top of everything. Listen, we'll talk about that in a second. Being consistent, and well, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
Somebody else ships the cards. I had the conscious decision to say, George, go and hire somebody else so you don't
Yeah.
have to do it. George ships my antiques. I'm like, George, go and hire someone else so you
Yeah.
don't have to do it. I want
Yeah.
you to be able to have that as well. I want you to
Yeah.
have that breathing space
Yeah.
instead of working yourself into the ground,
Yeah.
fulfilling my orders as well as your own. I'll pay those people. Just
Yeah.
don't get them to do it. You've got the
Yeah.
place to do it. I don't have the place to do it. So you'll get into a rhythm, and you will find the solution naturally. It'll just happen. When it comes to consistency, yes and no. People go consistency. Whatnot will say consistency is key. Consistency is key. 4, maybe 5 shows a month on Thriftworks USA is all I do. 5 shows a month, 5 out of 30 days on average, right? Consistently all over the place. There's only one show that is defined per month. That yes, really. If you build it, they will come, right? Do not misunderstand the inventory aspect of things as well. I have a very specific niche market of antique lovers. Okay, the items I get in are all one of a kind. There's no one antique pot, even if they all have the same pattern on printed on them, are
Right.
the same. So with that in mind, if you want something like that to work for yourself, you can't just go, Labubu's hot right now, I'm gonna go and sell Labubu. This is hot right now, I'm gonna go and sell that. This is hot right now, I'm gonna go and sell that. Because you and 50,000 other people are doing the same thing at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be unique enough that you can go live 5 times a
Yeah.
month and maintain a business and a secondary business and a life.
Yeah.
Be that person.
Yeah.
Um, Leslie's cornered the market in soap. I mean, she's talking about the market of skincare being small and not even breakout yet. Breakout market. Do you like that? That's a good one. But she's got that corner. She's got soap people. People go to her for soap. She's the number one soap dealer on Whatnot.
Whatnot. Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's it. That's her thing. Other people will come into the market, but she's the number one. Be that number one. There are When I was on Whatnot at the beginning, when I was in Europe, the antiques category was tiny.
Mhm.
I had the battle then of the antiques category in the US growing exponentially, and then me being in Europe with zero visibility.
Yeah.
I still managed to succeed because
Yeah.
of the inventory I could bring, which was rare French antiques. Find something niche, concentrate on it. If you do something that nobody else does, make sure that you get in there and start. There's
Yeah.
no better time than now
Yeah.
to do it.
Yep.
So consistency is important, but you will hear people say consistency is key. That is just somebody spewing buzzwords because they
Mm.
think that's what they need to
Right. Right.
say and what you need to hear. Being consistent to yourself is the
Yeah.
most important thing, not to
Yeah.
Whatnot.
Yeah.
Whatnot doesn't owe you anything for turning
Right.
up.
Exactly.
You need to be consistent to yourself in terms of getting your inventory correct,
Yeah.
getting your supplies, in Leslie's
Yeah.
case, for example, in order. Because if she
Yeah.
doesn't do that ahead of time,
Yeah.
the soap order or the soap making day is late, and then it pushes everything back.
Yeah.
So that being consistent to yourself is important.
Yeah.
Being consistent to Whatnot is only important, or turning up for Whatnot is only important when it's good for you or good for whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, consistency. And the other thing that I hate, consistency is key. I hate the phrase. I think consistency is important, but you need to be consistent in the right way. And
Yeah.
also, community over competition. I hate that phrase as well. Honestly, I spoke about it for about 2 hours the other day. Community and competition, right? I will build a community and I will feverishly battle any one of those people in sales because that's what I want to do. I want to succeed and I want to. The competition is great, it builds you up. The more competition you have, the stronger you can become. So, if you hear people saying community over competition, community, all this, try and, if you can, re educate people. If you can't, take on that message and just think, why would you want to build a community and then have nothing to show for it?
Yeah.
You want a community who spends money, and you want a community that you can bash ideas off of.
Yeah.
You want to build all of these things together,
Yeah.
but you want to be in competition, because if you're not in competition, you can't grow.
Yeah.
So community and competition and consistency is sometimes key. I think that is the takeaway from those. If you want to hear more about that, just come to any of my shows and just mention it in chat and I'll go off on one. But
And
those are
I'll,
those are the things that always get to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you've heard that somewhere and now you think you should that's what matters.
yeah.
Why do you think that, and where did you hear it? That's what
Yeah.
those are my questions.
Yeah.
So yeah, take that at face value. But yeah, consistency is sometimes key, and community and competition.
Yeah.
Grow your community and
Yeah.
make it as strong as you can. But every single person in that community, if they're in your category, fight them for the sales. Because if you don't fight for the sales are not going to come to you. And that's it.
Well, I have a fourth C. I have a fourth C, but I want to speak to Kid Monster. You're the second person in 2 days. The post office is doing whatever, but
It
it,
happens.
it does happen.
It's
So, but
probably Kentucky where all mine are.
oh my gosh, Kentucky, I don't know what happens at that distribution center. It's crazy. But I want
Yeah.
to add the fourth C that I want to add, right? Consistency, competition, collaboration, and all that kind of stuff. But I want to add change. Be
Mhm.
willing to change something.
Yeah.
Whatnot is ever growing. For myself, it's really important.
Before you finish that thought, change. I love the word change. Okay. Stop using the word pivot.
Pivot.
Change. That's
Yes.
it.
Yes. So change is really important. Like if I speak for myself, there's this always undercurrent that if you're in a handmade community, that you'll never be able to grow and handmaids left behind and all that. You know what? If you believe that, you're going to stay there. I don't have time for that because I'm constantly thinking about how I can grow. And in growing, I have to change what I'm doing. The app is always moving. It doesn't slow down. What works today may not work tomorrow. And I learned that by maybe hosting a show and going like, oh, what happened today? I have to stay on my game. And so if you consistent, if you're going to be consistent, you also have to change with that. Because if you're doing the same thing consistently over and over again and nothing's happening for you, clearly being consistent isn't the way to go. Change is something that you need to grasp onto. Change your product, change the way you host your shows, change your lighting, change your environment, change the people you hang around with, right? Change your prices, change your shipping. There's a lot that goes along with it. If you want to stay where you are, do it.
Don't be afraid to change it back.
Don't be afraid to change it back. Exactly.
There's the
That's
number of people
trying
that
though, right?
the number of yeah, exactly. The number of
Yeah.
people I've seen change something and then think, right, where do I go from here?
Yeah.
Well, if it's not working for you where you've just changed it to, go
Yeah.
back to what you
Yeah.
know and then think again.
Exactly. So that can be another C. That could be a challenge.
Yeah.
Challenge yourself,
Yeah.
right? And so that's it right there. But it should be about your business and not what you saw somebody else do. You may get an idea like, oh, I liked how they did that. Let me put my spin on it. and see if it's going to work for you, right? Like Natural State of High talks about how was it encouraged her or I inspired her to create stickers. And look at what she's done. My stickers aren't for selling. My stickers are something inexpensive, 300 to 1,000 stickers I get at a time. You know how much soap I make? If I'm selling 500 bars of soap a week, Natural State of High knows that I can't buy them from her. I buy 1,000 white labels and I print these on my printer, on my thermal printer. And she was able to see something and she created a business for it from it, right? And she's still tweaking and changing things, but challenge yourself to do something different. If one category is not working, try there's so many categories here that weren't here 4 years ago. You guys are in such a great space. Myself, I'm still learning and growing, and it gives me a chance to play around within my category, but adding new things. And
Yep.
so changing, but also challenging yourself. Keeps doing the same thing over and over again. Keep speaking negatively because if you believe you can, but that takes action too. Believing is not going to move you forward, right?
Yep.
Believing, wishing is not going to make it work. So if you're willing to put in the work, I don't care what category you're in, stop looking at other people. Don't look at Darren in terms of what he's doing in his business. Use him to inspire you, but
Literally
don't
use
go,
me
oh,
to.
yeah,
Like, I said this earlier about meetups. If you get the opportunity, this is just an this is an invitation. If you get the opportunity to meet me at the meetups, and this is not like, oh, I've met Darren, like get his signature nonsense, and you have a question that you think I can help you with, I
yeah,
will answer your question. Be prepared though to get the answer you don't want. be
yeah,
prepared to be prepared sometimes to hear, well, maybe you just need to knuckle
yeah,
down and try harder. Um,
exactly.
and that's true. But yeah, use me for inspiration, but don't. One, we all know, don't copy people, right?
Yeah,
When you copy something, you cheapen it, you dilute the the essence of something, and it's horrible.
yeah,
It turns everything sour for everybody. Be original, be focused, and yes, be inspired.
yeah,
That's where the line should be drawn,
yeah,
and then everything after that, build, 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 build.
yeah,
Because if you can't build, having not stolen something,
yeah,
then you're not going to win, and
yeah, yeah,
that's the message, really.
yeah. Yeah, I've had people like come at me to challenge me, and that has nothing to do with me. I was here all along, right? Like, why am I not making soap this way? I've had people like, why aren't you Premier or whatever? Like, I'm a one person. My daughters, they work for me, but I'm not relying on them to be a part of. There's no family business. They work for me for their goals that they want to achieve. So I give them their hours, I give them their things that they need to take care of, and we're done with that so that they can go on and save or go to another job or whatever. But I'm a one person, and so I am really, if you didn't know it, I am so fired up by the fact that I can achieve what I'm doing. It's an amazing thing for me, and to have so many ideas. I at least try. Darren talked about this yesterday. I've tried and failed in so many things. Like, people will come in, do you do shampoo bars? Do you make soap for dogs? Do you do this? And I'll say yes. I've been here for 3 years. I've tried just about everything, and I'm at a place that works for me monetarily and works for my time,
Yeah.
right? And why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I've had people come at me. I was in a show, somebody wanted me to bundle or do whatever. And I just said, it's not something that I'm interested in doing. They did not like my response. I'm okay. I mean, they blasted me in the DMs. I didn't respond back.
Don't care.
I'm going to work my business the way that I want to work my business, right? I'm here to make money. I am so thankful for the customers. Don't take that lightly. I don't take that for granted, but I'm going to run my business the way that I run my business as a consumer and as another seller. You should not be in somebody's show going, "Oh, but another seller does that," or "I do that." We're not buddies. We're not friends. You're coming to purchase from me. And if you're not happy here, then there's somebody else. And I guarantee you'll probably be back because They're not doing the quality work that I'm doing. You can't find the type of soap that you want. And I'm never going to make it a thing, but I'm not going to go back and forth. Be respectful. If you wanted to be treated respectful in your business, right? The person comes and says, I'm a buyer. I think that you should, I mean, I'm a seller. I think that you should do this. And my response is no response because I've heard it all in 4 years. And before that, when I was reselling, when I was selling on Etsy, and when I was selling, look, I did vending for 12 years. Imagine the things that people say on here, saying to your face, your stuff is crap. My grandmother can do it. Your prices are too high. Can I get 2 for 1? I've heard it all. If I can endure that, there's nothing that anybody can bring to me on the app that's even going to make me blink an eye. I've had Tony from I Love Discounts stick his leg up on the counter next to me, and I didn't blink, and I ran my show. Right? Get your game face on, people. Look. Get your game face on and run your business. Don't let distractions be the end of your business. Run your business with integrity, but it's
Yep.
your business. Don't let somebody make you run your business the way that they think you should run it. That's where you lose respect. That's where you lose focus. And that's what things will go downhill when you try to please everybody, running giveaways, doing buyers giveaways, running bundles. Run your business the way that you want to do it. And I think that you may not be a success, but it will be on your terms.
Nobody can tell you how to be successful. They can only give you the tools, um, and give you their own anecdotal advice.
Yeah.
But you have, when you receive that information, if you can't parse that information into something that's going to help you or make sense to you, then
Yeah.
it's useless listening to people sometimes, because you forget to sort of listen to yourself. Always trust your gut as well. Hey,
Yeah.
thrifty guys.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I mean, I'll need to go soon, Leslie, because it's coming up to dinner
Well, me
time.
too. I tell like I
But
think one is good. I
we've been
think
having
yeah,
fun today.
I
This
know. Yeah.
is it's a difficult one. Like, at the beginning, what are we on now? July. At the beginning of July, I had loose commitments to going to North Carolina. I'd said, maybe if I can make it
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
I had I had just a stiff commitment to going to uh, Kentucky, and doing
Yeah.
the 127, because I want to go to see George and do that.
Hmm.
And then obviously I'm going to go back to upstate New York as well.
Yeah.
So August is going to be crazy for me in August. Taking that extra long weekend at the end of July. I'll be honest, at the beginning of July, I was saying to George, I really don't. And obviously, we talk about things like the summer slowdown and things like that, and sales, and because I'm stretching myself more, I can't always focus, right? So I took a little bit of a quiet time with Darren to decide, am I going to do this or am I not going to do this? It honestly came to a point where I was, the day I booked my flights to go to North Carolina, was the same day I chose whether or not I would be doing North Carolina, um, Kentucky, and upstate New York, or which parts of those I was going to do it, which parts of those I was going to do, because can I can I actually afford to just go and do that and have some
Right.
fun, as opposed to not make money for 3 weeks? I mean, I have the possibility. I've got Whatnot in my pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got the capability of making money
Yeah.
when you're asleep, effectively,
Yeah.
So, I had that special time sounds weird, quiet time with myself, and I was like, right, how I was like, how do I make it work? And I'm like, what do you mean, how do I make it work, Darren? It's working. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
don't need I don't need to justify myself the
Yeah.
time off.
Yeah.
So load the marketplace up, but also, thrifty guys,
Yeah.
if you've got, I have the privilege of having somebody else who ships for me, right? So I can go live anywhere I want,
Yeah.
and somebody else ships for me.
Yeah.
I have that privilege. Why don't I just use it for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Like I always do. So that is, let's go. Leslie, where you at? I should tap the button every time. I need to get a shorter button.
I know. I was going to say. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the point, right? I have the privilege. I could go live on thrift shop cards and sell 100 items, and I
Yeah.
walk away.
Yeah.
And that if you get yourself into that position, absolutely use that to your
Yeah,
advantage. Like if I can go to the US for 3 weeks and do something, I'll be working. Don't get me wrong. I
yeah,
still have to
yeah,
source inventory. I still have to do all those things when I'm away, but I can be in a different environment and kind of, yeah, let's go and kind of try to enjoy it as well,
yeah.
with that privilege. So it took me a moment of realization to realize the
Mhm,
power of the app, and
mhm,
also the power of just being
mhm.
prepared and having
Yeah,
the
yeah,
privilege to just go, you know what? Fuck it. I'll see you in
yeah,
North Carolina. And
yeah,
I said that to Leslie that day. I was like,
yeah,
I'll see you in North Carolina.
yeah,
Almost same day or next day, we had the meetup planned for
yeah,
the day before.
yeah,
And then we're going to like have a little get together and
yeah.
go to the meetup the
I
next
think
day.
it's amazing. Yeah,
And
and yeah,
then
and
I'm
then
somehow going to fly to or get a train to Chattanooga, Tennessee. I
yeah,
don't know how I'm going to get
that's
there yet,
crazy.
but that's what
Yeah,
I'm going to do. So.
yeah. So I think the last I want to comment on Robin's comment, and we after we comment, both of us probably we can talk about what we're doing, and then we can head out. So Robin indicated she just won the giveaway. Robin 64. She indicated that she works 40 hours a week, and she was told that you have to go live every single day. One, Robin, I'm going to use you as an example. So just know that I'm saying this in love and as kindly as possible. Everybody has something that they have. Everybody has a life and a business and kids and they work. To me, that is the line that people use the most, is that I have a full-time, I work a full-time job. And I would just say invest in yourself. That's the first thing. But I will say that this app works 24 hours a day. Find a time that works for you. Find a time that works perfectly for you. And actually, there is no perfect time. But if you're going to give somebody 40 hours and you really want to be on this app, you want some growth, you want to make money, then you're going to make time for yourself. This is for anyone. Don't A job is a job, right? I've worked jobs for years. A job, if you're going to, you're living somebody else's dream. If you have a dream and a goal, take 20 hours and give it to yourself. That's what I want to say for anybody. Anybody. And you don't have to go live every single day. I work full time from home. I'm a full time business owner. I haven't worked a job in 8 years, and my goal is 3 days a week. Anything else is extra. So if you see me on here, that's because I like going live. I want to do it, and if it's extra money that I want to make and time. So I would say to anyone, don't use your job as an excuse. I would have loved to have this app when I had my children, because I was actually going out into the world and vending. So that there was no excuse. I was vending and I had two businesses on the side. So just, yeah, but you can make it. But the thing is, there's a reason that people are on this app. If you're on the app, there's a reason that you're on here. So when you say you work full, look at all these people. Somebody has something that they do. And I did say this in my show yesterday in Mindset Monday. There is no competition between if you work a full time job, if you're a full time business owner. To some people, it's weird because you can have a storefront and do that full time. But if we say we're full time on Whatnot, it becomes like this competition thing. It's not a weird thing. We're full time business owners just like anybody else. So just make it work for yourself. I believe that you can make it work for yourself if you put in the time. If you want it bad enough, you can do it. What say you, Darren?
I'll say everything that Leslie said, and then I'll say what Natural State of High says. Make excuses or make it happen, and that's
Yeah,
very good advice.
yeah,
We all have something going on.
yeah,
Every single one of us. If you can't do it that day, do it the next day.
yeah, yep,
What what you we get into the we'll talk about this on Leslie's show in 2 weeks because we'll be together for that show. But when somebody says consistency is key, or if somebody says you must turn up every day and do that, if that works for them, let it work for them. Do it
yep,
on your terms, do it on your time,
yep,
and you will succeed for yourself. You won't
yeah,
succeed because somebody else is telling you to do something. That's what you need
yeah.
to do. So
And
um
Natural State of High said it. You can go on 15, 20. If you title your shows that and you let people know, but if you're showing up, but if you only show up once a week or once a month, you're not going to gain momentum. So
yep.
this is the mentality of I showed up and I did it and no one showed up. but
Yeah.
you're not showing up enough because they can go somewhere else. You're not doing enough to hold their attention. Why should they bring their money to you if you're never showing up? And also this rescheduling and all of that. Put some shows in there. Make a commitment to yourself. That's really the key. You may be doing it for other people, but that is for you. I have 100 shows loaded in my account right now. It's 100 shows right now. I just added 10 more of for the keep going because I almost ran out. And so do that for yourself. And that's the first step, and work around your children. Put them to bed, drink some coffee. Where my husband and I raised 10 kids. So there's no excuse for 5 and 5. So there's no excuse for not like working around. Your kids should actually be your reason, not your excuse for doing, so they can see you, but also extra money. We all need extra money because I don't know any job that's really giving you everything that you need. Use that money to pay the bills. Use this money for my kids did ballet, they did soccer, they did volleyball. My job, my vending paid for all the stuff that I needed for them. So yeah, my kids are adults too. My youngest daughter will be 24 on the 29th. So definitely, Robin, go for it. But anybody else, I just hopefully did you understood. I know who you are, Robin. So thank you for letting us just use you as an example. So we're going to be heading out. I'm going to tell you what I have coming up.
I'm gonna run this first though. Leslie, you tell us. But whilst Leslie's talking, this is the me and Leslie collaboration card. Wait till I get one. Leslie, you talk. You're good at that.
So how's everybody doing today? Thank you for being here. Thank you supporting Darren and I. I said a bad word. In my Florida Evans voice, damn. No, yes. So that is interesting. I ran mine. So look, that's Darren's. But if you come to my shows, you get signed ones. When I'm going to have to tie Darren down. This is usually what happens at meetups because I want him to sign more of these and our other collab cards. So if you don't hear from Darren for a couple hours, I've got him locked at the table signing. I'm done.
So I'm gonna run this just now. I'll do it 10 seconds sudden death so it doesn't draw out. So if you want it, custom bids. If you don't want it, don't bid. But this is me and Leslie. It doesn't come signed. From me, you'll get them unsigned. It means you have to meet me and Leslie to get it signed. Okay. So there you go. This is running right now. Who's gonna get it?
So it's Darren in France,
Storm.
me in Philly, and Darren in France. Let's go.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, NYC.
Let's go. I love how
Congratulations.
I love how he depicted me in Philly because I am in North Carolina, but I don't have roots here. So yeah, and then everybody just say a great word for Philly. They had what do they call it? Oh my gosh. It wasn't a tornado, but something came through the city, a block from my father. My ex-husband, really bad flooding and the city's underwater. It's a whole thing. So send out shout out to Philly. All right. So I have today's keep going, and Darren, like I said, in 2 weeks we'll be in North Carolina, and we'll probably only do that for like an hour. We're just going to meet in the lobby or something, do a quick show just so that we've done it, and we'll be together for that show. We don't want to spend our whole because the meetup is at 2, so we just want to be accountable because I will be doing Mindset Monday in the morning, and I'm just going to go on 30 minutes an hour and from my room or from the lobby, the buffet or whatever. So just so you know that. Tomorrow I have a soap show. I am actually bringing a new talk show I've been talking about, and I want to do it because I don't want to sell all the time, but I do want to go live. So Coffee and Conversation, that's going to be Thursday mornings. And my show is already titled, Why People Leave Your Show. Why people leave your show. So come to that if you want to know from my perspective. Everything's my perspective. That same night, I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. I have to think about it, but I have a new concept, 30 bars in 30 minutes. Valhalla on Friday, Saturday soap show, Mindset Monday. Next Monday, if you didn't know, the word on the street that is my birthday. July 20th is my birthday. So I'm going to do a short Mindset Monday. It's not going to be as long because I'll probably be running around. My phone will be ringing. My parents and everybody will be calling me. But I will be doing a Mindset Monday. On that Mindset Monday, she's already listed. My birthday card will be available. This is going to be her premiere. I did her last month in the Thrift Shop Express, just as a quick one, but they'll be available. I think I have 6 listed. And then that night, I'm going to be co-hosting Friends at 6:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Darren has said yes. I'll let him go on first because it'll be midnight where he is. But then I actually reached out personally to a bunch of friends Once they come on, whoever wants to come on, I'll let anybody co-host. And I'm only going to go on for 2 hours, 5-minute slots. My goal is I want you to come in. You can say happy birthday, but I want you to tell us who you are and how people can find you. This is your 5 minutes to tell people. I want to give back to the community. It's my birthday, so it's my gift to the community for you to come on and say, I'm Darren from ThriftWorks, and talk about who you are and everything. And so anybody in 2 hours, if I can squeeze you in, I'm going to have all my friends first and then anybody else who wants to come on. So I'm always, 2 years ago, I did a raid train. We're not doing that this year. But it's too much. And then next week I'm doing a soap demo. So if you want to see me make soap, that is next Tuesday, and I'll stop there. Or Wednesday is Stephanie's show. But on Tuesday is a soap demo. I'm going to be doing a soap demo once a month. I'll be in my kitchen where I actually make the soap. I'm going to make it. I've been doing this for years or more. I've been doing this since I've been making soap. I just haven't been doing it as often. And so the way that I do it is I'm going to demo. I already have some made. Whatever soap I make that day, that's the soap that's up for purchase. And they've been really good shows. I recommend this. For people who are only doing demo shows, give them something to walk away with, whether it be a kit, whether it be you make a bunch ahead of time, and then what you're making. That is the best way you can grab people's attention, right? So yes, so that's what, and I don't do custom. It's no custom. It's just whatever I make. I don't do custom orders at all. That is not my business model. So if you give me a suggestion, you have to come to the show. I'll tag you, but I don't do custom work because I don't have time for that. But if that is your thing, then definitely. But I'm just giving you some food for thought. Yeah, I stopped doing custom a long time ago because it gets out of hand as well. So that's
Yeah,
that.
for
So
sure.
that's all I got going on.
Well, I haven't got anything planned because I'm going to be busy in all of Leslie's shows because she's going to be live all week. But I've got a few things on. I'll be live every day doing cards. That's what I do now. I
Yeah.
hang out here, and George takes care of ThriftWorks USA. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, come along if you want to be on this account for antiques. Come along
Yeah.
to Thrift Shop Cards if you want to see some live design and deep and meaningful chats. Come over there. And yeah, other than that, there's nothing much else happening. I'm just going to be doing the same old, same old.
I wanted to show this. This is my OG card. I sign my cards. I don't know why this particular one I still have, but it's signed. So met Darren, and we didn't know we were becoming friends. So this is my OG card. This is what they used to look like, right? I only have about 4 of her left. And they'll go through only the Thrift Shop Express raid trains now. But the reason I'm showing you this is because next month, look at this. I signed this on 8/25, oh, 8/29/25. How cool is that, right? This is the
That is
old
cool.
old G this is under 100 and under. I was 58, right? And so I
Yeah.
met him 58 cards in, there we go.
So,
So there we
actually,
go.
just a little plug. I have been, like I say, I'm busy all the time, and this will be the last thing I say. Thrift Shop Cards. If you go there, I put a new article in the news tab or whatever. If you go to the menu site menu, I wrote a little thing, or AI wrote half of it, and I wrote a bunch of it. It's just a little description about the evolution of card one through to the newest cards, so that you
I
can
love it.
understand how
Love it.
things have evolved and stuff as well. So there we go.
Look at all my
120
cards.
cards, Leslie. Frugal Couture, look at them. I've been
It's
busy
just
today.
when the Frugal Couture came in, right? Yeah, 1,000 cards. And
Listen,
people are always thinking, Darren, this is community. The community has built itself. The key to it is, regardless of how he started, there will be no way for him to be here or to continue without you. We each individually, whoever has a card, is a part of this community. We thank him, but he actually should be thankful for us because,
every
which is
day.
the truth. We're friends, so I'm not saying this to be facetious at all. He's thankful for us because it wouldn't grow without us, right? The initial first were like a concept and they were free. And some people were like, I don't know for sure. But like the growth of it is all the people who come now, before and now, who keep showing up. We're building ourselves. I met half of the people because of what he's doing. I love people showing up. Keep going. Don't feel that you're too small, that you can't get a card. If you have a community, then you do count in this to get a card, whether it be 50 or 100, get it and you'll see. If people like you, they'll buy your card because it's you and it represents you. And that's all I have to say. I want to thank everybody for coming to keep going. Thank you, Darren. It's always a pleasure to see you.
It's
And
been
I can't wait
fun.
to see you in person.
Lots of great conversation today. I enjoyed it. Lots of cool things to talk about.
Okay, where we going? Who you
We're,
raiding? What we doing?
we're gonna go and we're gonna raid the she's just gone off, has she? Damn. I was gonna go and raid
Who?
Mickey, but she's
Oh.
not live anymore. So let's raid. Actually, Dee's doing a talk show.
Mhm.
She's actually talking about. It might be interesting for some people. She'll be talking about how to promote yourself
Nice.
and things like that. So let's go and see Dee when we get there. Put what can be our let's put soap and baguettes. Soap
Yeah.
and baguettes. That's what we do after the show. So if you get the soap emoji and the baguette emoji, and then just flood the chat and have some fun. And
Cool.
I'll see you in a fortnight with Leslie. And if I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window.
See you through the window.
Right. I'll see you all soon. See you soon, Leslie. See you soon.